Vlad, what are we gonna do to goddamn cribs for you, man?
When I move out of this house back into my main house.
Like after all the flexing I seen you do on on Aries Spears, and I seen him get up on there with like he's still holding the handheld mic with the cord. I was like, yo,
right, with the water bottles.
I'm like, yo, somebody get this guy a DJI mic. Like, what's going on? Give him like a little transmitter and a receiver.
Yeah,
you're kind of shitting on these guys at this point.
It's not my fault.
Well, you know, you work hard, and you know, it's I enjoy everyone, you know, now seeing the fruits of their labor.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
In terms of what? In terms of what part?
Forget Aries Spears. You know what I mean? I still think, you know what I mean, you should give him a donation or a nice Christmas gift because you definitely kicked up off him a lot, even after you kicked him off. Boosie too, we're going to talk about it. But I guess I'm starting with some pocket watching, you know, some aggressive pocket watching. Mm-hmm. You've been doing this for 25 years or 30?
Well, Vlad TV, I think, is 19 years old. Mm-hmm. Technically, more like 18 years in terms of active, but I launched my channel itself 19 years ago and just uploaded some promo videos. But seriously, in 2008, that's when I started uploading interview content, original interview content. So 18 years.
When was hip-hop? I remember when hip-hop became my full-time job. What year was it for you?
2002.
2002.
When I was a DJ, so I moved to New York. Technically 2001. Yeah, 2001, when I was still in the Bay. I tried it for a year in my hometown. It didn't work. In 2002, when I was broke by that time, I just moved to New York and decided, like, okay, I'm all into the mixtape scene.
What were you making on average? Like, what are you bringing in a month?
Back then?
Back then.
Almost nothing. I mean,
enough to pay rent.
No. I was actually sleeping on my man's couch. You know, shout out to the Trinis out there because they kind of took me in.
Yeah.
You know, this Trini family who were concert promoters. Well, I mean, club promoters in New York, like the China Club was their spot and so forth. And I guest DJ'd one of their clubs. I think it was the China Club. And I went back to the Bay. And all the DJs I looked up to, when I got to know them, they were all broke. They were living with their moms, their plumbers during the day, you know, like trying to just scrape by. And I saw all the real DJs in New York were actually making money. So I said, hey, listen, if I move to New York, will you give me some gigs? And he's like, all right, if you're serious, come through. And I'm like, can I sleep on your couch while I find my place? He's like, yeah, cool. So I was in Brooklyn on Church and East 18th. That's Chef G's block.
Oh, shit.
Coincidentally. But that's where
you in the trenches, Vlad?
Yeah, I was in the trenches. You know, it's crazy walking down that block like earlier this year.
Gentrified.
Like, no, it's the same.
Still hood?
It looks just the same.
God damn it.
It looks just the same.
Same crackheads?
I didn't see the crackheads this time, but it looked, the buildings were unmoved. You know, it's still early. Maybe the crackheads came out later. But there were crackheads on that block when I lived there. Like this white crackhead couple would go up and down the block.
Yeah.
And so I was out there, you know, and eventually I got a little bullshit, you know, studio apartment, but I would just have CDs in my backpack, and I would drop them off on Canal Street, you know, to the Africans on consignment. Then I would go to Queens, and I would drop them off on consignment. You know, I'd go to the Bronx, drop them off on consignment, and come back, collect my money. You know, you lose the receipt, the Africans wouldn't pay you, you know, because that's just how it is, you know. But that African community, you know, helped support me, you know, in terms of buying the CDs and so forth. But I was really scraping by, bro, just barely making it, barely paying my rent. Fucked up car. I remember having, like, I went over my minutes on my phone bill, and I had like a $300 phone bill. It just fucked up. It fucked up my whole week because I didn't know how I was going to pay it back. I didn't have the money.
So we're talking about maybe you're making like, I don't know, $4,000 a month?
Less than that. Maybe like 2,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
Back then, would you have ever imagined that what you would end up doing in hip hop, whether with Vlad TV or you personally, would you imagine the amount of income you're able to pull now?
You know, you always have those goals, right? And you know, but there are times when you're like, I don't think this is ever going to work. But you have those goals, and you always feel like, because even before hip hop, I had gotten rich and lost it all, right? Before I decided to go full time in hip hop, I graduated from UC Berkeley. I started a a technical recruiting company where I was finding people jobs. It became successful. I was placing a lot of people. I bought a Benz, got married, bought a $500,000 house.
Oh, you on your Adrian Broner shit, huh?
Yeah, I was balling. And then when the dot-com crash happened, it all went away. And I had to start from scratch. I had to start in debt, actually. But there was just that mentality of like, yo, if I put in the work, I'm going to make it. Like if I put in the work and if I, but I don't know how I'm going to make it. And at first I thought I was going to be a reggae DJ. That didn't work out. I realized I just didn't have the Jamaican reggae understanding that I did of hip hop. Yeah, I love the music, but I didn't understand the patois and the subtleties of everything. I didn't have the connections to the reggae artists. I was DJing for Barrington Levy at one point.
Oh shit, nice.
That was sort of my insert. And I actually I performed with him in like St. Elizabeth and Jamaica and stuff like that. But I knew I was going to make it, but I didn't know how. So it was like, all right, first be a reggae DJ. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let me be a hip hop DJ. Okay, that's kind of working. But, the CD shit is going away and I wasn't really, I was winning awards, like I got mixtape of the year and so forth. I was getting to tour all around the world and it was dope. You got to do the rock star thing because, you got billboards and you're doing big venues in Australia and Japan and the Middle East, but the money's not there. So that's when I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to pivot to video. And that's when I started kind of like, okay, maybe something's here. I'm doing DVDs. But you just never know. You never know. You're kind of, you're trying this, pivoting here, pivoting there. And then when YouTube hit, I'm like, I think this is it. I think this is what I've been waiting for this whole time.
Yeah, it's so like on a reflection process for me and where I've came from. I remember my goals of what I thought the heights and what success would be. And it is, I guess it is considered success, but I want to give like a number to it. I remember like daydreaming constantly like, yo, one day you're going to make it and you're going to be making like, I don't know why it was this number. It was like, yo, you're going to be making like 14,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, wow, if I could make that, like I'm living a life. And and I'm thinking there's the realm of possibilities of hip hop. That's kind of like a cap of it, especially what we do. We do media. Mm-hmm. And then we look up, well, first of all, 14,000 couldn't even pay my employees for a month. Number one. Number two, I look up in this year, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. This year, we now see Forbes created a list for podcasters, and we see two of our counterparts on it, Joe Budden, also Charlemagne. And they both are like racking in plus 20 million plus for the year. Yeah. What was your thoughts about that and just like overall and how the industry kind of has like expanded?
It's a bit mind-blowing because it kind of exceeded the expectations. Like I thought I'd do okay, but this level was somewhat unexpected. But I think for me, I achieved it by investing in stocks. And the Vlad stocks thing kind of breaks down how I did it, on my YouTube channel. But the fact that I was able to compound my money, the way that I was able to take the profits from Vlad TV, put it in the stock market, and that grew. Like I bought Google stock in 2011. It's up like 3,000%. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So the way that money grew and how the money consistently came from the content and the content catalog continued to grow. And I did a chat GPT where I said, if I stop uploading videos today, how much money will the channel make for the next 20 years, year by year? And by year 20, you'll still make like 200,000 a year, based on the analysis of ChatGPT, which may not be exactly right, but it's like you built the catalog and a library of content that continues to make money, and your money is making money, and all that. So when I see the Joe Budden, when I see the Charlemagne, I think it's great. I love it. I'm not hating on any level. They've both been on my show, especially Charlemagne. Yeah. I know me and Joe kind of had our falling out, but
which part do I think he's gotten over? Let me tell you this.
I think we both got over it. Yeah,
money cures everything in the space that we're at. Like, I think coming up when everyone, I always even used to bring up the story of probably definitely 10 years ago, me and Sean Cotton, I was covering the Drake stuff, but I remember Sean Cotton was kind of coming up and like he would take shots at me. He was like, yo, I'm your favorite blogger as a vlogger. And I was just like, I kind of get it because he's trying to also like make his name. And it's funny because like now like we're mad cool and the reality is when everyone has their success, it's like, why are we beefing? Right? And it's only when you think that it feels like when you think you're in a small pond and you feel like if someone gets something, maybe you're not going to get it. That's when maybe, you know, things are a little bit more tense. But when like these days, look, okay, Joe, Charlemagne, like whether it's Gillian Wallow, whether it's you, Adam, Sean Cotton, like there's so many people thriving. I think that's why it's so much easier for all of us to kind of just like, oh, shoot, that's happening for you. Oh, great. It's like clapping for like your peers. While I don't think that happened in rap. And I'm actually really proud about that for media. Like in rap, people look at it like if you're getting a moment, it's taken away from me.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to drop the same day as a big artist because everyone's going to listen to their album.
Exactly.
Mine. So now I'm in competition directly with that artist. Yeah. It's almost like radio, right? Radio in the same city. Yeah. Hot 97, Power 105 are not cool with each other and they never will be.
And they took it actually really personally. But yeah, it's an interesting place where media is. And, you know, I've always been preaching this message to just young creators out there. And I've been preaching it for at least like 12, 13 years. I was like, listen, I know all of you guys are self-obsessed and a little bit narcissistic and you want to be the star. You know, I always cite this movie. It's called The Prestige, where it's like there's a theme that goes into the movie by saying everyone wants to be the person that stands on the stage when they're given the applause. You don't want to be the person who you helped out with it, but at the end of the day, when the applause is being given, you're below the stage or you're off stage. You want to be the person that's, you know, tipping your hat this and third. And a lot of people, when it came to music, for a while, they all wanted to be rappers, right? They wanted to be the person who's getting the recognition. These days, I'm watching everyone go to streaming and other things. They're realizing, you know, it's not only the rapper that has a chain, right? Like you got the RM on the wrist. Like most of these guys got fake chains or don't even have anything at all.
Yeah, well, at one point, everyone wanted to have a podcast, right?
Yeah.
All the athletes. I mean, Yachty had a podcast.
Yeah.
Came and went.
Yeah.
Paul George, you know, the basketball player, had a podcast. Came and went. That was like the new gold rush, the podcast. Now the new gold rush is streaming. But the only people that do well at this are the ones who really love the shit. Like I know me, I don't like to stream. I just don't. It's not who I am. You like to stream.
Yeah.
I don't really like to stream. Like, oh, Vlad, you should stream. You can make a lot of money. I'm sure I could, but it's just not me. I like the interview format. So I completely put everything into that. And I feel I got to a certain skill level of doing it that's different than everyone else's. And that's what I do, and that's what I focus on. I don't try to do everything. So when you see all these rappers doing these podcasts and now they're all streamers. Now, someone like, you know, an AB, he's well suited into that because he has the right personality. He's also a professional athlete, but you think Evander Holyfield could be a streamer?
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of rappers
I don't think so.
A lot of rappers are having it wrong where they think that they're chasing the audience. It's like, imagine there's a TikTok song with like a little, you know, little jingle beat that pops off. Everyone's going to try to make that song. It's monkey see, monkey do. The thing with streaming is that it's almost the antithesis to what most rappers are. And like Polo G. Polo G, I think, is an amazing musician. For whatever reason, he got into a lot of personal issues, and I think that slowed down his career. Yeah. I watched him trying to get in the live stream wave, and like, I know no one around him would like to tell him, but like, and I felt I said it. I hope he didn't like be like, yo, man, fuck Ak, he's hating. But I was like, yo, bro, you're a good rapper. Your personality in what streaming fans want. Yeah, they want someone that's down to be self-deprecating. They want people who are like just so transparent. They kind of want the corny guy, and usually rappers
are the cool guy.
So you're compromising one brand for the other, and you know he was on there streaming for like 100 people. Like, I'm not trying to like play, but
I was still mad at me, by the way. Is he still
really?
Mad at me?
I don't
remember
know.
I got into it with him.
Well,
because of being on this podcast.
Oh yeah, you had
remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still mad at me or not. I don't really care, but yeah, he doesn't have the personality. He's not a very interesting person in interviews. But he's a good artist. He's good in the booth. but watching him just stream 24/7,
Yeah.
that's not him.
A lot of people don't realize that, listen, don't follow the trend. Keep your niche. You can make your niche the trend.
Yeah.
We've seen so many artists that have exploited their niche, like even like on a podcast level. I like what Joe is doing. Mm-hmm. Joe is doing a completely great strategy where he's not trying to like appeal to every podcast listener. I think he's done the math and say, hey, listen, we got 300,000 people who probably listen to us weekly or so. That's all we need. That's our city. Okay, we're going to get 10% of them, 30,000. That's going to be paying for Patreon. We're going to make some other shows, and we're just going to keep working with the 300,000. We could make 10, 20 million out of the 300,000 rather than keep making content for like, whoever, just throwing shit on the wall and hoping something sticks. And people are scared of their niche, So like, I mean, I've also kind of gotten into that now where I'm like, I, of course, love mainstream stuff, but you kind of got to grow with your audience,
Yeah, man, look. Walking around New York today, every couple of feet, someone was, stop me, ask for a picture and so forth. And what I'm seeing more often now is that like young dudes would be like, hey man, your dad, my dad is a huge fan. Can I put him on FaceTime? I'm getting a lot of dads that are fans. Man, I've been watching you since high school. Because, 18 years, there's 18-year-olds right now where there's never not been Vlad TV. They're born and Vlad TV is already running. So I know I have a slightly older audience, and that's cool. I cater to that audience, and I go, this is why I do like the John Hinckley Jr.'s who shot Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Right? If you're 30, you don't really know who that is. But if you're in your 40s or 50s, you're like, oh shit, this was the biggest thing in media.
Yeah.
It wasn't like when Trump got shot because he just got grazed. Like Reagan almost died. He got a punctured lung, bullet in the lung, in surgery. Like we all thought this was going to be like John F. Kennedy Part 2. And man, I got someone who shot an actual sitting president. Yeah, that type of shit. I lean, Hunter Biden. I'm leaning into a lot of shit that.
You know your demographic really well.
Yeah.
I just had a show in Toronto. You got to come on one of these shows.
Congrats on that, by the way.
And when I had the show, like one of the guys who came out and he hung with us, and actually he celebrated his birthday with us. He was a mod in my like YouTube comment session, right? When he was 17.
Wow.
He was turning 30 on that trip.
13 years. Yeah.
To me, and even I do meet and greets, it's always the same story. Yo, I've been watching since the war in Chirac. That's 2013. Yo, I was watching when you covered Meek and Drake. That's 2015. All of these things span like 10 years. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah, like consistency will beat out a lot.
No, 100%.
Consistency at a high level of really pushing the envelope over and over again. And look, like I was joking about it. I said, I invented clipping in 2008. Like what you see right now. Hold on,
break that down now because I've heard so clipping. You know who we give the credit for with clipping?
Who's that?
In its current form, Andrew Tate.
Okay.
I'll give you the 2-minute explanation that you could tell. Because you may have done something that was like that, but now it's so much like it's like monetized now. So Andrew Tate and how he got famous, right? He basically uses students or his audience to promote. He basically did like a MLM. It was like, yo, hey, listen, I need new customers for my school. They're like some school to teach men how to be men and like, whatever. Right. And said, hey, listen, you guys bring people in and you'll get like an affiliate code. You'll get a cut of their membership. So that's how it started in general. Then they were like, well, how are we going to bring people in? I said, well, we could bring people in by saying, hey, I'm a student in the course. It's worked out for me. I made this month and I made this that month. But nobody wanted to see some ugly loser, like, or no disrespect, but like nobody knew these guys. Like, if a random salesperson comes to you and be like, hey, I made 3x my money in 2 months, you might be like, it's a little sketchy. Now, what they did was, or what Andrew Tate did, he said, yo, you know what? If you can't sell your affiliate code using your face, just take videos of me and put it up there.
Yeah.
And that he almost like realized they were flooding the internet out of self-interest. Not even for him. They were flooding it out of self-interest. They all wanted to be on get more money in the center. So what he did was he said, hey, listen, okay, not only with your affiliate code, if you get a certain amount of views, you could also get paid. And that's how, like, you know, that version started going into everywhere, and people started realizing that's why, like, Twitch was popular.
Yeah.
Kick, when Aiden Ross moved over, Aiden Ross basically broke down and decoded the entire streaming ecosphere to Kick and say, hey, listen, I'm coming to Kick. He gets like $50-60 million. And he says, Twitch is nothing without these clippers. It's the people who keep reposting these clips. That's why people on the Shade Room, on Vlad, on Akademiks, on Twitter in general are talking about him. Get a budget and we'll just pay the kids that were doing it for Twitch. That's how it happened. It turns into a whole fucking like thing. They clip for everything: politics, sports, brands, everything.
Yeah.
Now let me hear the Vlad version, 2008. Maybe we could give you some credit now, Vlad.
Well, in terms of the way the business is structured,
Okay.
I had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
I was not trying to do that. But if you notice, in 2008, everyone was putting out long form content,
Oh, okay.
full interviews.
Okay, you have a point here.
Hot 97, Power 105.
It was kind of like frowned upon to do shorter.
You know, KMEL, I mean, whatever, all the radio stations, whoever was doing interviews were all putting out long form content. I was the first person to say, okay, I'm going to put this into 5 to 7 minute clips, and I'm going to title each one based on the topic, and I'm going to drop it clip by clip by clip by clip, and then at the end, I'm going to do the full interview. But the clips are going to make more money and get more attention than just a full interview, and all the main points will be brought to the forefront as opposed to it's buried somewhere, 90 minutes in. Oh, that's the crazy part. That's the part where he says, fuck Ja Rule or whatever.
And this is before,
it's like
this is before, like,
this
now
was 2008. You can look on my channel in 2008 and see the clips going from 2008 on, and I never stopped.
Now on YouTube, like when there's a 2-hour video, you could almost click on, you could like hover over the thing and see most most replays. So you could know the popping part is there. Before, it's like you're watching 2 hours, you just got to watch it. There was no timestamps.
Well, right, yeah. And I knew
so
that,
clipping, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it was a necessity. I knew that.
But fans used to complain.
What do you mean?
Like they used to almost be like, well, we don't want to wait.
Yeah,
we don't want to wait for the other part.
So that's where the membership came in. And it was like, 4 years ago, I dropped the membership, and now it's up to like 11,000, 12,000 members that pay $6 a month that will get the full interview on the first day or close to the first day. Sometimes it'll be like the second day if we can't get it out quick enough. But you want to see the full interview, then go ahead and pay. If you want to wait until the end, get it free, that's cool. But every analysis that I did of like, okay, what if I just don't do the clips and just drop the interview by itself? And I was running all these stats through ChatGPT, and all the numbers came back that I make roughly 40% more money using my format than just dropping the full interview. 40% so think about it, 40% year after year, interview after interview, and just grows and grows and grows. It creates a very different type of business and allows me to offer bigger appearance fees and so forth. So when people say, oh, well, Vlad pays more than everybody else, because my format makes more money than most other people.
Is it something where, because I've kind of seen this debated a bit. Are you the first within our like genre of media that started it, or did you see others doing it?
Nobody else was doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like everyone else does it now, or everyone has a clips page, right?
Yeah. I never had this. It's still part of the main channel. Now, I was joking on Twitter. I said, if I copyrighted it, I'd get a piece of everyone's clipping revenue. I'd be making billions. And I'm just joking. You can't copyright no shit like that. It's just a way of doing things. But yeah, I mean, I came up with it and people thought it was a good idea. And now everyone does it. And that's great. Like, the whole purpose of what we do is if you come out with dope shit, other people will run with it and do well with it. And it will all kind of go full circle. So I'm just happy when things that I do become bigger. Like Tony Yayo has a new show called Feed Tony on Complex. We did a version of that show on Vlad TV.
Really?
Yeah, we did a food show on Vlad TV where him, Uncle Murder, Sir Lance Woods, this comedian, and me all like tried weird foods and shit like that. It didn't really get a ton of views. So we just did it once, right? You know,
So we get to see him eating like the sauteed duck and shit like that.
Yeah, now he has a show with Complex with a real budget. There's an audience. Donnell Rawlings is a co-host. And, you know, all these chefs, they make their versions of whatever food and then they all try it and they rate it. And I'm like, yo, that's dope. Like something that we did together has gotten into a bigger thing. And I don't want a piece of it. I'm happy for him. And for me, when things like that happen, the only thing I ask for is that we continue to do business with each other. And Tony was just on Vlad TV, a couple of days ago, or yesterday actually. So yeah, man, I like to see, now he has the show with Uncle Murder, the Real Report, and I like to see people that come from my platform and run with it, because we were talking about this yesterday. When I did my first interview with Tony, he had been quiet for like 10 years. And he said he was in a really dark place because the music was winding down. He had money, but it was
this concert stuff has saved the people.
Yeah, and it was, he was going on tour with 50, but that's just, he's depending on 50 for everything at that point. And we did the first interview. It was tense. At one point it got, he got kind of angry at me, the whole shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That whole meme that came from there. But he was like really kind of a little angry. And I was like, I had security with me because Tony is a live wire. You know what the fuck Tony Yayo going to do? And I didn't really know him that well. But we did that and it blew the fuck up. And he was like, oh shit, I didn't realize people cared. And then, interview after interview, now he's doing like Shannon Sharp, and then he did Kill Tony. So now he's in a whole different audience. Now he got his own show, and now he got 2 shows. And he was like, yo, man, like,
yeah, he owes you a slight debt of gratitude for introducing him to the
and I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm like, yo, come back to Vlad TV, boom, he's there. He don't try to raise the prices. He don't try to pocket watch. He doesn't do that type of shit. He's like, yo, let's keep rocking.
Another one of your big guests, Boosie.
Yeah.
What is the current update with Boosie? Obviously, we all saw the public fallout. I gave some comments on it. He was not appreciative of it. I've just noticed he's done a lot less. And even recently, he has been in the news with the 600,000 lobbyist thing to try to get a pardon.
Scammed. Yeah.
I'm wondering, first and foremost, where's you guys' personal relationship, and then like work-wise and business-wise? Because I also did hear you say to Charleston White that, maybe other situations where you're paying less are more profitable.
Yeah, I make more money with Charleston than I did with Boosie. And you got to think that I was not having Charleston on because Boosie asked me not to have him on because of the situation between Boosie's son and Charleston. So out of respect to Boosie and our relationship, I purposely did not have Charleston on, even though he had been on twice already on my show. So I gave up quite a bit of money to focus on the Boosie relationship. And when the fallout happened, I said, all right, well, Charleston's back on now. So Charleston came back on. In terms of where me and Boosie are, someone sent me a DM, and I don't know if it's real, but it seems kind of real, where they DM Boosie, and they're like, yo, man, you need to get back with Vlad. And Boosie's response was, I don't fuck with Vlad, and I never will. So to me, I guess that's what it is.
How does these things happen? I remember when we spoke privately before everything kind of got out there.
You knew this was about to happen.
Yeah. I knew it was about to happen. But for me, in knowing how, I know how solid you are, and I know how much that relationship meant a lot to you. I remember my commentary to you was, you guys are going to work it out, right? And that was my hope and thought until it got public. And I'm a little bit way more skeptical now because I feel like Boosie's pride and ego is hurt. And I'm wondering how that plays into, because it felt like you guys had a real relationship outside of the camera.
I don't think we really did.
Really?
We really didn't. We didn't get on the phone and talk. Like me and TK Kirkland have a real relationship. Me and Michael Jai White have a real relationship. Me and you have a real relationship, right?
But you and Boosie, you and Boosie passed hundreds of thousands of dollars in between you.
Yeah. But we were
at his house.
I was at his house because I was filming at his house. I wasn't at his house because we were hanging out. I wasn't fishing with him. Go to his house, we film, I leave, right? He goes to LA. If he's in LA, we go to my studio. We do our thing. We don't really hang out afterwards. We don't really talk.
Before all this, did you think that you did have a relationship?
I kind of did. At least I thought that on a business level, because for me, my business relationships and personal relationships kind of overlap, right? If we make money together and we like each other's company and we respect each other, that to me is the basis of a friendship as well as a business relationship. If because I'm not at the point in my life where I'm just going to hang out with people just because we're going to hang out and we're not going to talk business and we're just hanging out and having fun. Like there has to be these days some sort of business aspect of it. So, for example, when you saw my birthday, my birthday that just happened, everyone in the room, most everyone in the room, I made money with. Whack, John Sally,
That was an impressive
Carl
room.
Kanai, Traplo Ross, Adam 22, TK Kirkland. Who else? Freeway Ricky. There's some people that didn't like each other. Edie from the Outlaws. All of these guys had been on my show, most of which I've paid, but I've also made money with all of them. So yeah, I paid them, but it was always profitable also. So, these are only people that you pay. Well, sort of, but we make money together. I'm not paying them and losing money. We're all making money and it's a mutually beneficial relationship. So I thought with Boosie, like there's not a lot of people that you could fuck with year after year and both of you are making money and there's no arguments. There seems to be mutual respect and so forth. And then we reach this point where now he's not being respectful towards me because he hung up on me during a business conversation. And I'm like, that rubbed me the wrong way. That was like, ooh, like, all right, like you treating me like I'm like a worker, like I'm like somehow dependent on you when that's really not the case, right? And you're acting like, and he's like, yeah, everyone telling me they're gonna quit their membership if I don't come back, and you're like almost like threatening me that my business is gonna collapse if you go away, and I'm like, this isn't the case. This isn't reality right now.
And this is on the phone?
This is on the phone.
So you're getting the tone and the vibe that this doesn't sound like you're talking to a friend. This is you feel like you're talking to someone who feels like, you just need them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think at that time he felt like I did. And that all happened. I called him back and we kind of had a cool conversation. Like, listen, man, like I can't pay you what you're asking. It makes no business sense. But, you still my man and stuff like, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And if you remember, I was going to leave it just as at that. And I was not going to mention it publicly at all until he brought it up. And that right there bothered me as well. Cause I'm like, oh, now you're putting our personal, like after this many years of work, cause it'd been like 10 years or something. And me and him go back to the DVD days, like 2007 or something. And I'm like, damn, you're going to put it out there and make me look like I'm cheap and I'm lowballing and so forth. And you're not even telling the real numbers. And that's why I'm like, all right, so now it's just business. Now it's just content. Now we're going to start putting out information about each other and so forth. And I don't think that we're going to be cool again. And that's okay.
Did you have any?
I'm okay with that. Because I just don't think that Boosie doesn't really listen to anybody. Right? I sat down with Boosie and broke down my stock portfolio. I actually showed him my stock portfolio. I got Lil Bibby on the phone telling him how he did his shit, how much he made and so forth. I know Boosie has not invested a fucking dime. Like I know that Boosie doing certain things like giving someone $600,000 for a pardon means that you didn't run it by anyone else. You see what I'm saying? There's certain people that don't listen to other people. There's certain people that go out and find people they respect. I feel Boosie is someone who feels that he knows everything and he doesn't have to listen to anyone else. And when you deal with someone like that, it's hard to get that person to really compromise and see the big picture. And I think that's where I am with Boosie.
So I actually think different. So I do believe you both are gonna at some point, might be a couple of years, but it'll happen. I'm asking you, where do you see that relationship currently? Do you feel like if it was to be mended, he owes you an apology, or you owe him an apology, or it no apology needed on both sides, but communication and respect?
I don't give a shit about apologies. I'm 53 years old. An apology doesn't mean anything at this point. But my thing is that if we were to reconnect, number one, the money has to be different. It's not going to be 25,000 or whatever.
What would the pay could be?
I don't know.
You see, that's the thing with Boosie fucked up. Boosie let other people come in like 6ix9ine, Charleston White, who obviously after 6ix9ine's first interview, like I'm pretty sure 6ix9ine's a reasonable guy. He's probably like, let's take lesser rates. We're good.
Yeah, no. 6ix9ine's rate after that was way lower because he understood the big picture. I'd probably give him like 10.
Damn, $15,000 haircut, huh?
Yeah, you do like 10, and we got to talk about the situation on camera. It doesn't need to be an apology, but we can't just have the elephant in the room. The first thing we have to do is talk about what happened, and we could both be on camera so we could see each other's reaction and so forth. And that's what the first interview will be about. And this has happened other times. Like Lord Jabbar came back to Vlad TV, and our first talk was what happened. And both people have to be open about what happened and talk about where each of us made the mistakes, because I'm sure I made mistakes along the way and so forth. And that's what I would want. But I wouldn't need a whole apology, whatever else. Me and Mark Lamont Hill, we talked the other night. I'm going to be on his podcast tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
We talked about our issues and so forth. And he said what he said. I said what I said. It's like, all right, cool. And I'm like, listen, if you want to, you did my show last time, years ago. So if you want to talk about our issues, I'll do your show. And he was like, oh, shit, really? Okay, yeah, let's do it. I think he expected me to go, come back to Vlad TV. No, you did my show last time. I've always been very, like, if you do my show, I will do your show. And I overreact sometimes, but I always have a problem with people who I do their show, and when it's time to return the favor, I get the bullshit. Like Angela Yee.
Yeah, I got the bullshit. Well, that's how I felt about Charlamagne until this year.
Nori, the bullshit, the runaround. That's why I don't fuck with Nori anymore. I don't fuck with Angela Yee anymore. Because it's
you don't fuck with Angela Yee?
Man, I did her show so many times. Like I used to do Sirius XM over and over again. I did the Breakfast Club hella times, and for the past year,
you know what? I have a theory.
For the past year, I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm coming to New York. I want to get her on my show, and I'll do her show also." Oh, she's really busy this week, blah blah. For a whole year, she's really busy. Oh, really? So if Usher showed up in town, she'd be busy? Nah, she just doesn't want to do my shit. And I take that a little bit personally, because it's like I did your shit so many times.
Yeah.
And I asked for one appearance, and for a year I get to run around. All right, cool. I get it. I get the hint.
I started looking at that a little bit different. Again, I kind of felt the same with like Charlamagne. Charlamagne like would invite me to the Brilliant Idiots. I think I did like twice.
I did it once.
No problem. And I remember I had a Spotify deal, and I was like, one of the top people I want on, it was Charlamagne. I got Schultz, I got Joe, I got everybody. Of course, you were on like a million times. Right. Didn't get him on. And I was like, okay, he hits me for the Breakfast Club. Come Monday. He's like, come up Monday. It was like some controversy with me. I'm there. And I just couldn't get him for the show. And when I started to kind of look at those situations, like, it's like people who are on like those platforms, it's almost like they look at their platform as like more prestigious than yours. Like, yeah, you're lucky to come to the Breakfast Club, but like me showing up to your podcast, I got way more important things to do.
Fuck all that. I don't play that. Charlamagne has been on my podcast a bunch of times. Envy has been on my podcast multiple times. And now Jess Hilarious has been on my podcast as well. Like, I expect payback, across the board. Now, it doesn't, this is why I stopped doing Pierce Morgan. Like, if you remember, I used to be on Pierce Morgan all the time. Yeah. And then it was like, hey, I'm trying to get Pierce. He's really busy right now.
Yeah. Pierce is going to hit you.
Yeah, next month, check back with us. Next month comes around. Oh, he just got in that operation, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, so even with Pierce, you were trying to do the reciprocal thing.
But then it's like, Pierce wants to be back on the show tomorrow. Can you change your...
Yeah.
And with Pierce, it's like they got to send the van, and I got to change my schedule, and I got to go in this fucking van, and I got to wait, and so forth. And after doing a show like, 4 or 5 times, and I would show out on the show. Remember me and...
you got into
Busby.
You got
into a damn screaming match on his show, on his platform, which went super viral. I heard Jay-Z loved it and everything else like that. But every time I asked, I would always get the runaround. But then they would come back and ask again to have me on the show. And I'm just like, I'm not doing this fucking show anymore. Like honestly, I'm not going to say fuck Pierce, Morgan, but I'm saying like, you can't keep getting people on your fucking show, and they have big platforms as well. And I seen you do like Breakfast Club when you're in New York, but you never do my show. Well, I'm going to stop doing your show.
Yeah, it's a it's a thing where to them there's a hierarchy when it comes to like platform.
Well,
they kind of look at themselves. It's like
fuck all that, bro. Fuck all that. I don't care who you are. Like if I
would
do
you have
your
that
shit,
with Rogan? If you did Rogan twice or 3 times, and then
if I did Rogan like 4 or 5 times, I expect Rogan to come back. Like, you know what I mean? If I did Rogan, like I would love to do Rogan. So obviously I would do Rogan if he asked me. But if I kept doing it over and over and over again,
okay,
if I'm a repeat guy. And that's what I remember last time I was on Breakfast Club. I was like, yo, Charlamagne, people think that you don't fuck with me. Like I've been doing Breakfast Club. I've done it like the last 3 times. And he's like, no, you're right. Let me come back and do your show. You gotta put the, you know, if people aren't paying each other, then you got to put your foot down. So like with me and Nori, I never talked about this publicly. Me and him had this weird, we were friends. He was doing Vlad TV a lot. And then when he got Drink Champs, he asked me to do the show. I said, sure, but I said, I'm not going to drink. And he got upset about that. Oh, but that's the format, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. There was a back and forth and we stopped talking to each other for a while. And then I circled back with him maybe a couple of years ago. And I'm like, listen, you know something? My bad. I know this is your format. You've done my shit a bunch of times. I'm going to fly myself to Miami. I'm going to get my own hotel, my own security. I'm going to come do your show and I'm going to drink. And I'll stay as long as you want.
Well, that's
the
dope.
3-hour interview is one of the big, I think got like 2 million views on his YouTube channel. It was one of the big interviews on his channel during that time. And, you know, we kind of got back into our friendship. I considered him an actual friend. Right? Because the next day we went out drinking during the day and we caught up and, you know, his wife was there and his friends were there and we, you know, took pictures and it was dope. And now we're back in contact again and we're chilling and, you know, we're talking to each other regularly. And maybe like a year passed. I say, hey, you know, what do you think about doing Vlad TV? He's like, yeah, man, I got you. All right, cool. So I go to Miami, run around. You know, he would hit me and he would ignore his calls, whatever. He'd be in LA, I try to hit him, he wouldn't respond. Oh, my bad, I was doing this. Then I'll come back to Miami. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna do it this time. Run around. And then it was like, the last time I was in Miami, like he told me he's gonna do it, but then just wouldn't give me a time or a date. And it's getting close to the end of my trip, and I'm still getting the runaround. And it turned into like, we started basically talking shit to each other over text. And at the end, he's like, you know something, man, I'm sorry. You know, you my friend. Like, I'm tripping. You know, you're right. You know, when I come to LA, we're going to do this, whatever else comes to LA. Ignores my fucking calls again. And then I seen him do a media run with like Tony Ayo and them and like do like a bunch
seen
of
him on Joe Budden and shit.
doing a bunch of small podcasts. And I was like, man, fuck this, bro. Fuck this dude. And me and him, we got into a big fuck you back and forth.
Yeah.
And it was like, he was like, call me the N-word. I know you want to. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I got more black kids than you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the best you got. He goes, oh, you racist. You don't own me. I said, we don't own each other. I did your fucking show. You know, I flew out, did your shit on my own dime. I'm already in your city. I'm just asking you to show up. You told me you would do it. And now you give me that fucking runaround. So anyone doing Nori's show, just know that when it comes to return the favor, he's not going to fucking do it. You know?
Yeah.
You know, start charging Nori to do fucking Drink Champs from now on. Because know that when it comes, you know, in return, he's going to fucking screw you. Nori's about Nori. You know, his word don't mean shit. He's a snake. That's the way I look at it. I don't fucking Nori anymore.
I wonder how is Drink Champ still doing this? I felt like there was a time that we used to anticipate every week there was like some epic. I don't know if it's still there.
Then. Well, that was during the Kanye era. And big interviews and so forth.
I think we're in a different era now. The different era is not the, oh, you have that one-on-one interview or this person that no one could get. It's the, hey, you have the person that's probably accessible to everyone else or the person that no one else thought to interview and you're going to make the best content. I think you've pioneered that because, you know.
I try, man. I try. But I've always been handcuffed in terms of my access. You know how Atlantic Records was here fucking with you. They don't fuck with me.
Yeah, Atlantic Records showed up with a briefcase, with Trippy's album. They're like, hey, go listen to it, please. They brought a briefcase with an iPod. They're like, yo, please listen to the album.
Yeah.
I'm like, I respect it.
haven't talked to Atlantic in probably like 10 years.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. These labels will call me with just like the nobody artist. Oh, we just signed nobody. Can you please interview him? Even though no one else on our roster you'll have access to, but here's a nobody.
It's because labels are chasing the meta. Now they're calling, whether it's Kai Cenat, Platboy Max, Neon, they want their artists on there. Because honestly, I've always said labels should really tap media for real promotion. And we're all going to say the same thing to them. Your corny promotion that you're trying to do with your artist is not going to go viral, okay? What's going to go viral is you're going to allow your artist to come here into our world and let's make content.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that works. But they'll come up with some plan, be like, hey, here's this plan. Could you execute it? And you're like, this is going to be the least viewed thing. Thank you for the money. But this is the least viewed thing on the page, on the Twitter, whatever outlet you put it on. And that's why I realized they're always out of touch.
Listen, not every artist is Drake. They could do a 20 versus 1 and have it go mega viral, or give some family.
You watched that?
I watched some of it.
What'd you think about it? And people are mad.
Mad? Why?
People are so mad. They're saying Drake is 40. He shouldn't be doing 20v1s.
Man, 40 ain't that old, man. I'm 53.
No, people are mad.
I'm still outside.
Wayno said he was highly disappointed.
Yeah, but that's Wayno. Shout out to Wayno. He's been on Vlad TV.
But there's
That's his take.
There's a bunch of like.
He's a family man. He's married and he's settled down and so forth. He doesn't relate to the life that Drake is. Has Drake ever had a girlfriend? I've never heard of Drake actually having a girlfriend.
That he claimed? Yes, it hasn't been since Rihanna.
Even she claimed after the fact.
Well, he's had girls he's sung about, but like,
right?
It's always sung about like you're my favorite. Too, you're my favorite of the harem. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like
he has a harem.
Yeah. Well, what's so interesting? I was watching, and there are fans too, and I said that these days we're in a really interesting like spot where like there was some fans that are really upset. They're like, no, like we don't want him to do that. Like they want to impose what they think his growth at this point should be. And they look at that as like, no, you're going backwards. You have like some stunted, like, arrested development. And this is, even having a convo with him, which I think he made the most brilliant point ever, right? He made the most brilliant point ever, which I don't think people just step back and just realize. His point was, how are people mad that I did a 20v1? That shit was all in fun and games. I'm the first like rapper of like a contemporary rapper to do SNL like how I did it. I'm the person who hosted the ESPYs. When I did those formats, people loved it. Oh, Drake, you're killing it. I dress up as people. I do this, and everybody loves it. He literally says, currently, there isn't a format that I could do those things on that's really cool and trendy. So whether it's a little skit for YouTube or whatever, what's the difference? And his point was basically saying, I've been doing this shit, and he was realizing, he was like, listen, I can't tell why they're mad, because if this was, it's like, maybe if I did it with Drewski, they wouldn't be mad. Maybe it's because I did it with Kyle from the Nelk Boys. He's this white Canadian. And it's like, he's kind of like genuinely a little bit puzzled, because everyone who's upset with it doesn't realize that in his brain, these new media outlets or new way to like do content, he's equating to Saturday Night Live. And that shows you how current he is, but how progressive he is. Yeah. Right? So you have the biggest artist in the world who's looking at it to say, okay, I'm doing my gambling street for stake. I'm gonna have, I want to do some content in it to make it interesting. Let's do kind of like a skit type dating show. And rather than say, I'm just going to wait till SNL hits me up, let's fucking do it right here. And everybody's upset. That was actually really, it was an eye opener for me, because I'm like, yeah, if he did this on SNL, nobody was bad an eye.
I thought it was smart. If you notice, Drake hasn't done an interview in forever.
Yeah.
Since like Bobby Altoff. Is that her name?
Me and him have like some light conversational shit, which I just, it's in the vault.
Right, but I'm saying we haven't seen a real sit down Drake interview.
And I don't think he should do one. Let me tell you this.
That's his choice, man. I mean, he doesn't have to do one.
No. In the age that we live in now, he's the most overexposed, overanalyzed, and famous artists of like all time. That usually doesn't work. Michael Jackson, as much as people loved him, he wasn't like DMing your favorite Twitter baddie. He wasn't giving this girl a bag and that girl. Like Drake is really accessible. And I do realize that because of that, he's the only one doing interviews of the top 5 rappers. Future just dropped an album, no interview.
No interviews. Yeah.
Kendrick dropped an album. He did an interview with literally SZA, which is like, not even an interview.
Yeah, it wasn't an interview. Yeah.
No one does interviews. I think for once, the public, favors in his side. Why do an interview? He's just chilling back. And I agree with him.
Well, and the album's selling, right? The album's a big album.
Yeah.
Right? Future's album, not so much.
Yeah, it came.
J. Cole's last album, not so much.
But J Cole's a great, I use him to compare to Drake. J. Cole doesn't seem like he wants to or needs to get new fans. Like, I remember being in college when he was doing a Dollar in a Dream tour. And I could tell in 2026, when he's doing a tour and he's dropping an album, he only cares about those fans he got then. What do I mean? Drake is still trying in whatever way to be current and to attract newer followers in newer ways of how they would see him. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, they might be the people watching a 20v1.
Yeah, J. Cole will not do a 20v1.
He wouldn't be. And again, some people look at it in terms of, it's about maturity. No, it's about, are you going to actively try to get new eyeballs and new people to fuck with your music? People like me, I'm still going to fuck with it regardless, 20v1 or not. But you could tell he's still trying to make sure he's tapping in with streamers. People judge him for that, but I think those people just want him to get old.
Well, I think he's doing the Jay-Z blueprint, pun intended, where Jay would always hop on whatever the hot song is.
I remember him on Jeezy's song.
Jeezy. He would hop on Kanye songs. He hopped on, what was it? The All the Way Up with Fat Joe, right? Like, he would hop on hot songs with younger artists all the time that were not on his label all the time. Drake was doing that also. Blackboy JBs and all these other artists. He would constantly lend the star power to these songs were already going through the roof already. So now this is just another version of that. Well, let's just hop on the new trend, 20v1. Let's do the whole thing. Let's give one of my super fans a free car. Let's do things that are not interview standard type things. At the end of the day, it's Drake. He can do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants to do, as long as it's a good product, people will fuck with it. And people criticizing it just brings more attention to that whole situation. Like that whole goth baddie girl, there's pictures of her without the makeup, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
But that brings more attention to the whole situation, right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, Drake is so smart. He addresses things in his own time, but he's really, really poignant in how he's doing it. Like, he dropped an album for all the dogs 2023. Everyone's saying, he's leaning into red pill talking points. He's kind of like thrashing women and kind of being like, bitches ain't shit, right? He goes through like the biggest battle of his life. This is the time he needs women the most. He drops 2 extra albums, which are women albums. He drops 1 album for guys, 2 for women, and he spends, after the album drops, 3 months of giving away like $5 to $10 million all to women. If you don't think he knows his base and he's getting back up on what's going on, while everybody's like throwing a fit, no, you see him. If he got to bark for a bitch, like, he gonna bark for a bitch.
Did you hear the remix? Not Like Us. The ARF.
Oh, they got that?
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No. Oh, they're using the bark?
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Let me pull this up. I think all hip hop had it. Hold on. This was like one of the great internet jobs here. Hold on a second. You got to hear this. This was absolutely brilliant.
Let me hit it.
What do we? Just give me like one.
Did you bark for me?
Stop it. Stop it. Did they tune his voice differently, or that was the actual bark?
I don't know, man, but whoever did that, like, I've been humming that all day. Arf, 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 arf.
Hey, yo,
You
he's.
gotta admit that's brilliant, though.
Hey, listen,
The internet is undefeated.
that's precisely my point. Drake has to acknowledge that, and maybe that's not his favorite clip, but he knew when he did this.
Yeah.
When you barked
Like a dog.
the internet is undefeated, and it was going to go down in the internet lore history. You got to let it go.
Right.
You got to let it go. I've learned that. Like, I mean, they ran all type of I'll give you an interesting tidbit. My mom was at my house. My mom comes down. First of all, my mom is online too much. Like, she's chronically online. She comes down, and I did a stream with Neon. So, like, when you're on these streams, especially IRLs, like, you're kind of clip farming and stuff like that. You're kind of just like chatting, right? My mom comes down. My mom sees a clip that now people are running with that was like, yo, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like, yo, I bought everything for this chick, and she left me for a dude without a car. My mom is like chewing me out, and I'm like, yo, Mom, I didn't even have the heart to tell her, like, yo, that's called clip farming. That's not even real.
That's not a real story.
No.
Okay.
But it's just one of those, like, even the Daphne Joy thing is like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I love how people, I'm at the point now where, like, I'm such a product of the internet, I won't clear it up. I'm leaning into it. Like, they put me on a list recently, they say, yo, the biggest simps this year, which, if anyone knows me, I have a huge problem even being on that list, but you have given the internet content. You've taken, like, the whole Daphne Joy thing. It's exactly what y'all think it is. So whatever you want to go with it, that's what it is. And I'll let it rock. I used to clear shit up because it used to bother me that much. Now it's like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
I learned from you, man. I learned to just, because unfortunately, based on a situation I had with someone before, I'd always be told, don't respond.
Yeah.
Let other people talk, just be quiet, whatever. Learning from you, man, I lean into everything now. If there's a rumor about me that isn't true or somewhat skewed, I'll get in front of the camera. I'll get right in front of it.
Yeah. The litmus test for me is this. Okay, if someone accuses you of some vile stuff, like, of course, and if they're saying things that will really fuck with your business or reputation, you got to get in front of it. You got to address it for the camera. Now, there's going to be some stuff that they're just going to say to fuck with you, right? They're going to be like, yo, he's a trick. He's a this. Like, those type of things, fuck it, man. As long as they're talking, at least for me, because I'm like, whether I am or not, that does nothing but cause conversation. Now, if someone says, yo, you killed someone or you, like, SA'd someone, that you got to, like, address. So for me, like, I've just, like, I guess I'm numb to, like, most of this shit happening.
Yeah, me and Tasha K got on FaceTime recently and squashed.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm going to do her show. I'm going to do it probably later in the year. I got to handle some other shit first because I know that her show's going to be bananas. But, yeah, me and her got on the phone and we cleared out some shit. And, it's funny because she's cool with Nicki Minaj. She's like, because you work with Jay-Z. I'm like, I don't work with Jay-Z. I met him for 5 seconds. Like, I don't know
you
him.
work with Jay?
Yeah. I think Nicki really thinks that me and a bunch of other people are really on the payroll. Like, remember, like,
Some people on the payroll, though.
not me.
Well, not you. No. Listen, I've sniffed out all the Rock Nation.
I remember you and Charlamagne had that whole.
Did you at least see that, though?
I kind of try to stay out of it because I fuck with both of y'all. So I didn't really like what was happening.
Not
so
really the back and forth.
It was really you. He wasn't really responding until he did an interview with you, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't watch that, but I fuck with both of y'all. So I wasn't a fan of that happening.
So, okay, let's extrapolate beyond the Charlamagne thing. Because have you seen I'm going to call it conspiracy theory because, there's going to be those out there like, where's all the proof? That there are certain media members that are kind of like either mouthpieces for like Jay-Z or like there's like this idea that Rock Nation is nefariously acting to try to control the narrative with certain things. How do you feel about that?
What would putting me on payroll? Let's just say
No, not you.
No.
All right, let's start with you. Got it.
Let's just take it from my point of view, right? I have a fairly large platform.
Mm-hmm.
When I put stuff out there, it spreads, right? All the other blogs look at what I do. Everyone takes clips from my interviews, and I go viral recently, on a regular basis. So I could be an actual mouthpiece, right? So let's just say that Jay-Z calls me and said, listen, I want you to do a bunch of pro Rock Nation stuff. How will that move the needle on any level? So if I just doing a bunch of pro Rock Nation shit, what will that change? What will that change? Me by myself.
No, well, it
Even
won't.
10 of me's, what will that do? If there's 10 Vlads that are being paid by Rock Nation, what will that do in the grand scheme of things?
I'll tell you what it'll do. It would. These days, I never, until this year, I never knew what a narrative war was. Like, there's so many people fighting a narrative war. I'll bring it back. So I work with record labels, pretty much all the record labels. There are record labels that are deathly afraid of me turning on that stream and just shitting on their artist for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Put it like this. If you think that thing they sent for Trippie Redd, obviously I'm cool with Trippie, but like that thing they sent for Trippie, that whole presentation, this is how it kind of works. It's like, and it works not only with me, it works with DJs too, where they're like, hey, let's bring the DJs out to dinner. You know why they're doing that? They want the DJs to have a reason to be like, oh, these are good people. We like him. Because the narrative of that is going to help. If everyone's shitting on a product, like the biggest promotion is word of mouth. And some of the loudest mouths, if they get online saying X, Y, or Z, and you are one of the loudest, you have one of the loudest platforms. For you to be in favor of a artist or a person or anything, it could even be a label, it could be a company, that is valued somewhat. And to a certain extent, I didn't know how much people were paying attention to it until in the last like 2 years, I'm realizing there's entities that will either pay a lot of money to try to tarnish someone's brand. Like, for example, I'll give you a clear example. And I said this publicly. I told the person who this happened to. Playboi Carti performed at Complex Con about 2 years ago. It was him and The Weeknd. They debut Timeless and a song I love, Rather Lie. Someone came with a big budget and they said, hey, listen, here's some videos of while they're at Complex Con. Now, everybody loves Carti. Everybody says his concert's so crazy. They're trying to put up his concerts in like the realm of Travis Scott and Weeknd. Mm-hmm. There was a company paying to put out a narrative that while he's performing, people are walking out. And they sent video. I've never seen these videos before. And they're like, we have the budget to fund this. Now, that was a little bit alarming for me because...
Okay, so let's just slow down for a second before you go on.
Okay.
So this company that created this fake content, basically, right? You know, like for example, there's a video of Soulja Boy showing up to Rapper University. It's empty.
Yeah.
He was like, that wasn't Rapper University. That was me looking at spaces.
Yeah.
Right? It's just fake. So you have a video of people leaving Playboi Carti's concert, making it look like he's a flop. And
Yep.
No one was there. No one was enjoying the show. They're going home. Number one, what does that accomplish?
It helps bring down the brand he's trying to build.
Okay, so who would do that?
Well, that's where you have to look a little harder because for me, and you know, I told Carti this, but they probably were able to deduce it because the company that was funding it, they also represent other artists that are in the same realm that want to be the leader or seen as the leader in the concert space of we have the craziest concerts. Vlad, trust me.
That is so many levels out of direct benefit for whoever's paying for it that it would be hard to even monetize.
They have that much money. Put it like this. If you take your budget not to promote you, but to basically shit on your competition, imagine the budget you have to promote yourself. What I'm saying is that I started to see that, and we're in the realm now where it's all about narratives.
But, okay. Playboi Carti has a track record of selling a certain number of tickets at certain venues. Who gives a shit if there's a video of people leaving? They paid for those tickets. So didn't he do some concert in Europe with like 100,000 people? Like I saw some videos that were just insane with Playboi Carti. So you really think that a video of people leaving a concert will somehow deter concert promoters from booking him? Maybe one show here or there.
Vlad,
I'm not buying it.
Vlad,
I'm not buying
Vlad. Listen, okay. I'll give you even more details.
And they were paying people. Did you get paid to post this video?
No, yeah, they offered me. I told
How
no.
much?
I took. It was like $4,000, $5,000.
So they wanted you. This company wanted $5,000 to pay you.
They had it to pay me. Yeah. And I said no. I said Cardi's my friend, and I do business
so
with
did you
Cardi.
see the video on other blogs?
Yeah.
Okay, like which blogs?
I just want to air those blogs, but it was other big, like clearly it's a camp. People got paid.
But what did it accomplish?
I'll tell you what.
Let's take a step back. What did that accomplish?
Barely nothing for Cardi.
Nothing.
Hold on, for Cardi, but for other artists, yes. I'm gonna give you an example. Burna Boy. I went to see Burna Boy at Citi Field. That's where the Mets play. That's 50,000 people that he sold out back in 2023, I believe, or 2022. I think it's 2023. So ridiculous. If anybody here is into Afro beats, or if you're African, or if you just love that type of music, you know how huge Burna Boy is. His name is literally the African Giant. That's his nickname, right? And what happened is that he went on tour again. And his tour, I noticed as a fact, I met with, because they called, I just said went with Young Boy on like all of his stuff. Live Nation people tried to get me on the phone to try to change the narrative. Because I don't know if they thought that was like what I was doing, but there was 2 to 3 videos of them showing, and they do this frequently. It's 8:00. This venue is not full yet. And it's to show that the artist isn't selling out. What happened was, once those went viral, he had a long tour. I literally was on the phone with Live. They said the tour sales has decreased by this amount of percent. Why? Because people are believing that no one's going to a show.
Yeah, it's going to be an empty venue. Yeah.
Yes. So it is effective. I'm telling you, I swear it's effective. It's just, it's a different type of warfare that's being fought.
Look, last New Year's, I believe, I went to go see 50 Cent in Las Vegas, right? The day before, because it was like multiple shows, right? And there was like some white girl in Vegas that made a video and called it the worst show ever. Like the worst show I've ever seen in Vegas. And it went viral. It was like, oh, no one's here. It was horrible, blah, blah, blah. Worst show ever. It went viral.
50 might be immune to that, though. It's fifth.
I went to the show the next night, and it was packed out, and everyone was singing the words and so forth. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter there. It's a white girl giving a review on a 50 Cent show where people are like, bitch, you wouldn't get it. Like,
but it still went viral.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
He even commented on it. Ja Rule commented on it. Like it became a whole thing. And I'm saying nobody cared. In fact, I think it actually just promoted the show even more. Oh, there's a show in Vegas. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because 50 is for niggas. Oh, would you bring your missus to the Chris Brown and Usher concert? Have you seen that shit?
I've seen videos.
Would you? Okay, you bring her to the show. All of a sudden, Usher got the fucking cherry hovering among his mouth, and
she's not going on stage.
And then he points at her.
She's not going on
he
stage.
Points at her.
I said, sit
and he's like, "What up, Vlad?" And he's like, he points at her, and he's like, "This."
I said, "Sit your ass down. You're staying right here. You're not going on stage with Chris Brown."
Right. Okay, she's she's a big fan. She's just
don't give a shit.
If she goes though,
I won't be there when she comes back to her seat. She'll be Ubering home, not my home. Nah, we don't do that. I'm not going to do that. Because that's just disrespectful to me. You're not going to do that shit.
Yeah, no, I've been watching those concerts, man. Yo, Usher? No, Chris Brown, first and foremost. I don't know what he got over these females. It's like mind control. It's like a spell. It's like what they were talking about Debo. What's the guy named? He said, y'all got mind control over Debo.
Well, I mean, he's the biggest R&B star of this era right now. Right? Who's bigger than Chris Brown right now?
No, absolutely. But it's
Usher is an older artist at this point. Chris Brown has more of a demographic of young people and older people. So, and especially women. And he still is, a younger dude and stuff like that, still in shape and, tatted up and so forth. Like, yeah. I mean, Chris Brown, he's almost like a Michael Jackson at this level in terms of the R&B world.
Yeah. I think that's where he has MJ beat. Only that. Like, the sex appeal for females, like, they're just going. It's like, I look at it, I'm like, yo, listen, I'm seeing people with There was a girl who got brought up on stage, and she was acting a little funny with Usher.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And
She said she wanted to be with Chris Brown.
yeah, she said she wanted Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Yo, she has a man. Her man posted the next day. Utterly ridiculous.
Well, listen, if you're a regular dude, you might get a kick out of that. For me, I've been around Chris Brown. I've been around Usher, but being around Usher is not a big deal for me. I spoke to Chris Brown at the brand risk fight, recently. Said what's up.
Oh shit, I forgot he was there.
Yeah, I was there. I'm working with brand risk. They're advertising on my IG page. So I don't really anyone I'm with that can get pulled away by a celebrity is not someone I want to be with.
Okay.
And I've been there before. My early days, I've been around groupies that would run after celebrities, and it was like, ugh, I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, right?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Let's run down a couple of criminal cases that you talk about, we talk about all the time. We have Yella Beezy, we got Dirk, the Keefe D trial. I think we should start with Dirk.
Okay.
Where are you with everything that we're seeing with the Dirk thing? Cooked or not?
Shout out to Drew Finley. Great lawyer. So Brian Steele's on that case too.
Brian Steele's on the case too.
I mean, he has the best lawyers that money could buy. So if there is a chance to get him off, they could do it. And they are dealing. Who do the snitching on him? It's OTF.
OTF Vonnie. We have one of the trigger men that's snitching. Supposedly they keep saying OTF Jam, and also two guys that just pled guilty who murdered someone else. But actually they separated those cases. It was AJ Montgomery and like Preston Powell or something like that.
They have a whole bunch of people that were directly involved that are going to try to tell their way out of their sentences by throwing him under the bus. And you have lawyers that can pick apart people like that. Was Dirk directly the mastermind of this whole situation? Or did you have a whole bunch of people that took it upon themselves to do it without even telling him? Because isn't one of them like King Von's cousin and stuff like that?
Yeah, one of the guys who was telling, like, he's in an infamous video with King Von at Icebox, like, saying, yo, I've been with this guy since he's been famous. You're not going to rob him now that he's rich.
Right.
And he basically stops, like, the deal from going through, basically saying you're trying to finesse him. And people looked at it like, oh, that's like a day one guy for Von, actually. Yeah. Von gets killed. He kind of like folds up under Dirk, and now he's telling on Dirk.
There's a chance he could beat it. Now, the government keeps putting more and more superseding indictments on him, trying to tie him into all these different murders in Chicago and so forth. And it's going to come down to, are the people that are going to get on the stand and tell, are they believable? Do they have any real proof? Is there really a real smoking gun? Because if you think about these mafia cases and these big RICO cases, there's like real recordings, there's real wiretaps. People are really talking about murders on the phone and at their house and so forth. I don't know if they really have something where, listen, Dirk, once we play this to the jury, it's over. Like for example, with Taxstone, from what I understand, because I was talking to his lawyer,
they got a video of him doing it.
Well, there's the video, but the video is still a little unsure because he was attacked himself and so forth. But from what I understand is he had a phone in the jail and they caught some communication, I think over Discord, of him talking about the situation himself with his own words. And I remember his lawyer said that that's really what buried him. He talked to some of the jurors walking out and they're like, yeah, the Troy Ave shit, we didn't really believe that shit because obviously he had a reason to tell on him. But when we heard Taxstone in his own words,
he was like telling himself?
Yeah.
No way.
That's essentially what happened with Tax. That's how he got 35 years. He had a phone in there. I mean, I've talked to him on the phone.
I mean, he's doing a podcast in jail right now. Like,
right. But I'm saying, but even before that, when he was anticipating his trial, me and him were talking on the phone. I don't know how he got the phone. I never really talked about him having a phone because he was still fighting his case. And I refused to do an interview with him because I was worried that it was going to get used in the case. But
What is he doing? Life now?
Like 35 years.
They added like 3 more to it. Like that was like insult to injury. It's like, come on, bruv. Like, yo, 30.
But do they have a smoking gun on Dirk? I don't think they do. I think that if they did, he would probably accept a plea deal at this point. But the fact that he's fighting it, I don't know. I mean, I haven't talked to Drew in a few months about this. I could circle back with him, but I remember I talked to one of the lawyers, and they said he's got a chance. He's got a chance to beat it.
Let me ask you a question, because I think this is an operative thing when it comes to situations like this. So there is a bunch of cooperants, supposedly, like at least like 3. Mm-hmm. If you're a jury member, right? Just in a random case, not necessarily a Dirk case. If the people who are the cooperants also have charges, so they have a reason to tell, is there ever a point that you probably look at it and say, well, all 5 of these guys can't be telling the same story, even if it's to help themselves? There's probably something here. And that's where I think the feds are trying to bury him by just heaping up a bunch of, like, that's why they do RICOs. They're trying to do the Thug too, where it's like, listen, even if you think that maybe there's one particular situation he's not guilty or you're unsure, we're going to throw so much evidence that you're going to be like, if we just vote guilty, at least we know he's not an innocent man. Right? And I'm a little bit nervous for that for Dirk, but he does have good lawyers.
Yeah, I mean, didn't work in Thug case either, right? Thug probably would have walked away from the case because what's his name ended up YSL.
Woody?
Who's the dude who got found not guilty?
Gotti.
Gotti beat it.
They were so fed up with that prosecution.
Right. And I could see, I mean, in the same way the Diddy trial kind of fell apart by the end. You know, the prosecutor got fired at the end of that. I could see this Dirk case being kind of a circus like that, where you have these dudes that are kind of like these little Woody types that are going to get torn apart on the stand and are going to be talking in circles and that type of thing. And I don't know, man. Listen, Dirk dissed me a couple times in songs, but it was really over just some bullshit. It was over me accidentally revealing like a baby reveal on accident.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, there's no more beef. I mean, he okayed Drew Finling to come on my show because he could have stopped that. And I remember his new manager was like, yo, just Dirk wants you to know there's no beef and so forth. He's got bigger battles to fight right now than Vlad. That was never an op with him. So I think potentially he has a chance. And I can't tell you that I've heard, like, for example, the Keefe D thing, he's going to have a hard time getting over all the evidence and all the shit that he said himself in the book and interviews and so forth. Dirk saying don't use my card or something like that, that doesn't necessarily prove that he knew about a murder conspiracy.
Yeah, I definitely want to. The Keefe D thing is also interesting. But before that, I do want to ask for advice. Right now it's saying it's about 20 months until Diddy comes out. Should I be preparing to squabble him for Daphne's Joy? Yeah. And also, you being the person who has interviewed the most prostitutes in history, connected to a federal case. Yeah. You know, after talking to, I know the Punisher wasn't with her, but there's a couple other ones that were. What's your advice for me dealing with Daphne Joy? Because she's used to a lot. And I was like, yo, how am I going to handle this? I'm like, you know what? Vlad you have vetted these motherfuckers. Like,
well, you know.
You've seen the videos. You actually seen a video that came out.
Yeah, remember? Like,
I thought you were capping when you were like, oh yeah, I seen it. And then I seen it on Twitter. I was like,
well, if you watch my interview with Sly Diggler, I put up
Sly Diggler's crazy, right? Man.
I put up a picture, a blurred out picture of him and a blurred out Daphne and Diddy in the picture. He sent me a screen capture of it. And I put that out. And if you look at the video that leaked, the actual sex tape,
the same thing.
It's identical, right? So, you know, when you say Daphne Joy is used to a lot, but, you know, she's also used to a little. Well, Diddy. She's used to the 12 inches and the 2 inches. So, you know, if you fall somewhere between there, you should be okay.
I was trying to ask her when I was doing like the date with her, Because she was like, yeah, size doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, of course size doesn't matter when I could bring in 3 dudes with a fucking bulldozer.
But Diddy was smashing that too, right?
Nah, but Diddy was like, he was like icing on the cake. He would let them do the dirty work. Like, all right, fuck her for 3 hours, and he'll come in, do a couple love taps, and then kiss her on the neck and be out. Come on, he was specialized in man semen. Like, come on, like he was enjoying the man milk. Come on now.
Yeah, but he was busting himself every so often, I would assume.
I watched the video, and you could tell Diddy was really just like, he was like Spielberg. Like, he was just like saying shit. You could hear it. Like, you could tell that they were trying to react to what he was saying. First of all, do you believe that a woman that's been through that could have a normal, successful sexual relationship with a man?
Yes.
You do?
100%.
She was getting bust down by 5 dudes, 3 14-inch pythons a night.
Right. Well, here's the thing. She was doing that for Diddy. She wasn't out there doing that on her own, and then Diddy just met up with her.
Not true.
Oh.
Not true. Go back to the case. The case actually said Diddy at one point, there was something in LA. It was also to do with Kanye. And they were saying that she was familiar with that scene, which it didn't say directly, but it kind of insinuated that perhaps she'd been in a freak off with other dudes.
No. Because remember, I interviewed all the male escorts. So Don the dealer, another porn star, male escort, AKA his porn name is Don the dick dealer. Right. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Don the what?
Don the dick dealer. That's his porn name.
If like,
in my interview, it's just Don the dealer.
If like, when you're interviewing these male prostitutes and they're showing you like, you got one dude telling you like, yo, I'm fucking so much bitches, I got to use a penis pump. Another dude is like, yo, look at this picture. Are you like at some point being like, yo, in my media career, like I wouldn't be thinking that I'm over here? Because you're asking in detail questions. Mm-hmm. Like you're almost like, it's kind of vivid, Vlad.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do. But like, I can tell you that Don did the first freak off with Daphne and Diddy, and he literally broke down the whole situation, how Daphne had never done that before, but she was really excited to do it. She was like clapping and like really into it and so forth. But he was explaining it to her for the first time because she had never done that before. So Diddy turned her out into that world. She wasn't, maybe later she was out, once she learned how to do it, she was out exploring.
There's a story where she shows up to a party and they kept saying Bear, but that was Ye. Ye invited like some people to some sex shit, and she seen one of the male entertainers that usually fucks her fucking someone, and everyone was watching. And that right there, I was like, if she's comfortable to go there without Diddy, because Diddy found out later and pulled the guy to the side. And once I seen that, I was like, mate, does she do this with other people? It was unclear.
Well, yeah. I mean, one of the male escorts was saying how he randomly ran into Cassie by herself, and next thing you know, she was calling him to go do a freak off with Diddy. But this was something she initiated because she seen the dude out. See what I'm saying? So I think that once they got introduced to this world, I guess they started to like it a little bit. But like if their boyfriend isn't fucking them and the only sex they're getting are from these male escorts, so, women like sex too. So I guess at one point, this is the only sex they're getting, right? Unless they're getting some side dick. But they don't have to feel bad about fucking these dudes in front of Diddy, and he's paying for it. I think that's kind of what happened, but Cassie wasn't like that before. Daphne wasn't like that before. This was really a Diddy thing. This is what he liked, because I remember I went on Twitter and I said, I want to start a GoFundMe for Diddy to get him a female prostitute when he gets out of prison, because we got to show our brother Diddy.
He's never had a female prostitute.
There's a better way out there than male prostitutes.
Well, that becomes the big question, right? So do you believe it was suppressed homosexuality, Do you believe it was just that, I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, Sly Diggler even said that Diddy's kind of on the gay. They had a conversation. He goes, well, I'm not really gay, but I think I'm kind of on the gay spectrum.
Or I mean, after you guys, viciously clown Diddy for having like, literally like a stump or whatever. And see, Diddy gonna fuck you up. Like you think, you heard what he did to that inmate? He gonna fuck you up. Like,
I'm not going to any Diddy party. Hold on. I'll tell you that right now.
But where would you kind of like? I haven't talked to these guys. These guys have been so much around these intimate moments. They would describe to you when he would lash out, when he would have his private moments. Do you think this was shame? Do you think this was suppressed homosexuality? Like, what's your take on it after talking to them?
I think there's a certain level of suppressed homosexuality because this is gay-ish behavior, right? If you are playing with a man's sperm and rubbing it on your chest and that type of shit, you can't no homo your way out of that. Like that's just gay. And that's cool. That's your thing. If you want to be gay, be gay. Now, none of the dudes ever said that Diddy try to have sex with them. I mean, so he looked at my ass or something. I mean, there was a little bit of that, but no one said.
But they don't know too, though. I remember one on your show basically described. He's like, "Yo, I was relieved that this motherfucker was going in there and like, doing. I thought he was fucking eating it or some shit like that." Yeah. And there was this one that he described like Diddy's behind him. He's like, "I'm a little creeped out because I don't know if Diddy's like fucking looking at me." You know what I mean? Like,
well, look, there is no shortage of men who are gay for pay, right? He could have gotten a bisexual male adult film star. There's plenty of them. There's dudes that'll fuck men and women. They'll fuck trans, like they'll fuck dogs. But go to Brazil. Bestiality is legal. You can find a dude to fuck a dog if that's what you want to do.
What?
That's a thing.
That's a crazy thing to know, Vlad. Yo, hold on.
But I'm just saying, there's dudes out there that will gladly fuck Diddy for money.
Okay,
that's what he
here's the thing. So Diddy comes
and
from
fuck Daphne and fuck motherfucking Cassie and whoever the fuck else is in the room. Yeah, right? Male, female, whatever.
Diddy comes from an era, just like how, rest in peace to DJ Mrs. C.
Yeah. He was into the trans.
He was into some strange stuff, and he pretty much held it down until his death. And mostly, I think people
held it down.
Well, he did not pause. Like he kind of denied it as
No, he didn't.
No,
when he got caught,
forced out. He got forced out.
When he got caught, he finally came forward.
He got caught like 3 times with a tranny on the side of the road.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess the point I'm trying to say is that I get the reason why it was probably tough for him at first, because even Diddy, they come from that era where if you're into that, you can't let it be known. That kills your whole legacy. Like now, these new niggas right here, they would definitely like let it be known. It would be whatever. But I do think Diddy came from that era where he would probably spend millions on concealing that rather than just being honest.
Well, he did that with Wendy Williams. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Wendy went on the radio, claimed she has some photographs of Diddy doing some gay shit. He called up, I think it was WBLS at the time, and said, "You either get rid of her or I'm suing the station." They got rid of her. She had to go to Philly. And she never really spoke about it. And I interviewed her about that. And I asked about that. And she was like, "Yeah, I got burned at the stake for that shit." And, but it is what it is.
Would you do a jail interview with Diddy?
Absolutely. I've interviewed Diddy before. We know each other. I mean, we don't know each other, but we know each other.
Predictions for when he comes home. I believe that, so many of these things that are like actual, scandals in a moment, people forget over time. Mm-hmm. I think 4 years from now, he's going to be released in 20 months. 4 years from now, no one even brings up the fact that he used to rub man milk on his nipples and fucking do all this gay shit. Like, I think people will forget.
No, people will not forget. But will people mention it to him in person? Who knows? But
you know why I say that?
Comedians will still make jokes about it. Podcasters will still talk about it.
Comedians, yes. But like, think about Usher. Usher like 7 years ago was like embroiled in this thing where everyone's like Usher has herpes. Nobody, yo, the girls who are running on stage these days, not one of them, they don't give a fuck. So
they're also not fucking him.
Shit, they look like they fucking him.
Give
I
him
ain't
some
gonna lie.
cherries. Well, but then again, it's like
That's a forgotten thing.
NBA, I mean, there's this, because remember NBA YoungBoy was allegedly had herpes, and I remember there was this unreleased song that I heard recently where he goes, you know, something, I got herpes and I gave it to Neek. Tell you the truth, I think she gave it to me. Like, he's literally rapping about herpes in his songs, right?
Yeah, but the girls who love him, they'll get the herpes for him. Like, that's different. It's different than
well, herpes also won't kill you, right? You don't want to get it, but it's also not a death sentence. It's not like AIDS.
Yeah,
right?
no, but I guess
if Usher had AIDS, that would be a deal. You know what I mean?
No. I'm not talking
out
about.
They're bragging about fucking Magic Johnson right now,
No,
right?
I'm not talking about.
No girls like, yeah, I fuck Magic Johnson. Like, oh shit.
I'm not talking about like that issue. I'm just saying that the big scandal of the time that I thought, I'm like, Usher's career is done. He's a sexual R&B singer who just got diagnosed with something that people think is gross.
How many hit songs has Usher dropped since then?
I don't know.
Zero. He's a catalog artist.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not hot in the charts anymore.
When Diddy comes back out, he waits 4 years. People ain't gonna remember that he was rubbing semen on his fucking nipples.
Well, listen, people still fuck with Diddy, and I think people have a certain level of sympathy for Diddy because I think that most people feel that the government kind of bullied them. That when it all came out, because listen, I was waiting for the women in the cages, the little kids, the men.
My boy just love his tooth shit. He loves some semen.
I mean, that was weird, but it wasn't illegal. It's legal to rub a man's semen on your chest. I don't want to do it, but it's legal, right? It's legal. I can pay a man to come in a cup and rub it on my chest and no one will get arrested, right? I would never do it. But I'm just saying, it's different. Like, for example,
we still haven't heard from Ja Rule. We heard that story that Ja Rule, Gene Smith or Gene Deal, he said that they knocked on the door and both of them came out with like towels.
Gene Deal has some tall tales, man.
He a liar.
Well, I'm not going to say that, but a lot of Gene's stories don't match up.
Okay.
Like, we've had people that have literally said that's not what happened. I remember there was a whole thing that Gene said about, like, it was a chain of events of what happened after Tupac died with Biggie and so forth. I remember Lil C's was like, that's not at all how it happened. I was there every day with Big. Gene was not there every day. He was an occasional security guy. But Gene's stories do not match up. I don't think that Ja Rule is gay. I don't think that.
I get that.
You know, and if Diddy comes out, people are gonna be happy. People, you know, he's gonna do shows. He's gonna do his hits. People gonna fuck with him. You know, Stevie J will be right there with him, and whoever else is. You know, he got the Asian baby mother. You know, Daphne will probably be back in the mix. I heard he's still paying her rent.
Nah, she's out of there.
Oh, she's out of there.
Trust.
Well,
she
I
is.
think people will fuck with him. I think people will make fun of him. I think there'll be a lot of people clowning him.
Mm-hmm.
But if he keeps he's not really dropping big songs anymore, but I think he can still kind of be in the mix a little bit. Not how he was, but to a certain degree. You know, R. Kelly, he got through his whole trial. The video was released of him peeing on the little girl, but people still fucked with him because ultimately he was found not guilty, and people kind of kept rocking with him until he got put in prison forever. And that was the end of the story.
Yeah,
like, if Diddy gets out, people still gonna fuck with him, but they will make fun of him. No Diddy is a thing. The rubbing of the semen is a thing. Like, you can't get past that. You're never going to be seen as this alpha male character anymore because you're paying dudes with bigger dicks to fuck your women. Like, that's just...
If anybody could pull it off...
You can't get past that as a man and someone look at... Because think about it, right? Think about getting into an argument with Diddy. Man, fuck you, Vlad, blah, blah. You said to rub man's semen on my chest. What's the response to that?
I ain't gonna lie.
What's the response to that? There is no comeback.
I think Diddy's ego pause is so big, like... Yeah, I still think he gets so off of that. Anyway, real quick, Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah.
Who do you think about him?
Yeah.
Do you think he's cooked? I ain't gonna lie to you. I like what Lil Duval said recently. I appreciate Pooh Shiesty for during a short time back, he gave us some authentic street music. He never lied in a single bar. We're not saying go to jail here, people, but God damn it, if you know, if this was Barnes and Noble, you know what I mean? There's a lot of rappers that are in the fiction section, and that guy is in the non-fiction section with the big golden book. Everything he said, you could see it on video, or you'll see it in someone's cell phone, or possibly an indictment.
Well, I think Poetic Flacco put like a Mount Rushmore of gangster rappers.
Who was it?
Like Pooh Shiesty,
King Von got me
King
on it.
Von.
Okay.
Who are the other ones?
Okay, you gotta have those two. Those two are shoo-ins.
Hold on a second. Let me look up his. I think it was on his joint, on his Twitter.
Gotta have those two. It's kind of interesting because this kind of goes a little bit into what Boosie was saying. Did you see the Boosie clip where Boosie's like, yo, y'all internet dudes got to stop solving the crimes? And I was just like, yo, bro, like, you got to tell these guys to be better criminals. Like,
Hold on a second. Let me find this.
hip hop is the only place that coddles criminals like they're kids.
Yeah.
They're like, well, Vlad, why did you ask him the question? Huh? This is a grown ass man. Like, there's never well, why did you do the crime? It's never that question.
Here we
Yo,
go. Here we go. So, Pooh Shiesty,
Yep.
King Von,
Mhm.
NBA YoungBoy, and Lil Durk. That's on the Mount Rushmore. I mean, that's what he put up.
I would say Mount Rushmore for this generation.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore for this generation, and especially established artists, yeah.
I mean, all of them have been in jail. 2 of them currently are in jail.
Yeah.
One of them is facing murder charges. The other one's facing kidnapping charges. King Von died.
Yeah.
And NBA YoungBoy had attempted murder charges that he beat and all types of other bullshit.
NBA YoungBoy is like, his history is very, it's one of those where like, if you know about Boosie and you're like, you kind of go down the rabbit hole, you're like, it's one of those. I think he's escaped a lot though.
Yeah.
He's in South Korea now, he should stay there.
South Korea. He's saying
No, is it South Korea or North Korea?
definitely not North Korea.
Okay, South. All
He
right,
may
bet.
not leave North
Never
Korea.
know. Yo, he's that gangster. He might want to like, get at
Yeah.
King Jong-un.
Yeah, you might not come back.
Well, yeah.
Jong-un. You got like a life sentence with a cell phone in North Korea.
Really?
Yeah, you can go to labor camp for life with a cell phone.
So they got no TikTok over there.
No. They got
Really?
nothing. Yeah.
How
They
they,
got no cell phones, no computers.
they probably have no
shut off.
ADHD or nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. they're probably
They could
just
fully
chill.
focus. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
really? They don't got Instagram?
No. No phones.
Tinder.
No phones.
How do you find a bad bitch in North Korea?
I don't know, man.
I gotta ask Dennis Rodman. You interviewed Dennis Rodman, have
I
you?
did, yeah.
Bro, how was he getting some pussy over there?
I don't think he was.
What?
He was. I mean, he had that presidential pussy, that dictator pussy, so he could get whatever he wants. He could
Okay, but
probably
like,
just point at a girl and be like, "Yeah, I want those 10."
really?
Yeah.
I'm wondering how it works over there. Like,
Well, it's a dictator, someone with absolute power.
yeah, but at that point, like, when you point at the 10 girls, is it consensual or is it like,
Consensual is a very, gray area term over there.
Speaking of consensual, Andrew Tate, what do you think?
Seems pretty serious. If you're being extradited to the UK, has he actually been taken out of the US to the UK at this point?
Not yet. He's going through the proceedings. Here's why people are like pissed at it, right? So he was in Romania. He was on some home confinement and some detention orders. That case is kind of in limbo. The judges kind of deem that there's not enough to continue in its original form to go to trial. They've given the prosecutors deadlines, so you got to fix the case and kind of redo everything over again. It's looking like, it's losing steam the more time that goes on.
All right, but he's not in Romania anymore, so all he has to do is not go back to Romania, and then he'll be
But here's the
okay.
thing. So he was there. Apparently, the U.S. government lobbied Romania to allow him to travel because he couldn't travel. They allow him to travel. He says, fine, cool, I'm coming to the U.S. because he's a dual citizen. He comes to the U.S. First of all, in Florida, they were like, we don't want you here. And then he gets arrested because the UK wanted him, but Romania was like, we're not giving you him until we're done, which we don't know when it will be done. the U.S. lobbies for him to come here, and then the UK asks the U.S. for him, and they're like, huh, take him. Like, so it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, what do they really get him on? I guess they're accusing him of rape and stuff like that.
It's always like all these like SA charges.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of it comes from back in the day they had a webcam company, and it's like really up in the air if the women that they were dealing with, if, you know, the methods that they used to procure these women to work on this thing was legal or not. Like, you know, hey, you know, whether you're coercing her by fraud, you're lying to her lover boy method, and some of it is just straight up there like, yo, you just took advantage. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. Did you care for them either way?
Well, originally Andrew Tate asked me to do an interview, and I said no.
Really?
Yeah, but like I said, I had someone in my ear that was telling me to do shit I shouldn't, you know. That
You should have did that, man.
I should have did that. And I remember I made some comments about him, like some rape comments, and he got upset and he threatened to sue me. And you know, he went back and forth. His lawyer went back and forth with my lawyer, and they're
In the DMs or something? Like, how'd y'all guys go back?
no. Well, what do you mean?
Like, how did he like hit you up?
I think it was through email.
Okay.
And you know, I made some comments about him, which you know, this was before all the rape charges. I'm like, oh, I'd heard like, you know, like it was some like rape type comments about him, and his lawyer was like, oh, he's gonna sue you, but you have to do an interview with him and donate $100,000 to men who are falsely accused. It was just sort of like a silly.
Wow.
It didn't seem serious. It seemed like they were just kind of fucking with me in a way. And then he got arrested in Romania, and then all that went away because now he actually has real rape charges.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't say, oh, this is defamation because now you have actual rape charges. But my thing was, I would completely interview him at this point. Yeah. So if he wants to do an interview, I mean, there's a lot of people, you know, that I may not care for, but I could sit down and have a conversation with them and see where it goes. Even if we have very differing mind states. Like, you know, if you look at like one of the main like anti-Israel, anti-Jew voices in America, it's Sneeko. But I went to his house in Miami and we did an interview.
No, these days he's a little bit more extreme, Vlad. I kid you not.
He's gotten very extreme, right?
What do you think? Have you seen that?
Well,
He says he wants to make America Muslim.
Well, he's rage baiting. You're not going to make one person can't make America anything. And shout out to all the Muslims out there. It's a beautiful religion. I have friends who are Muslim and that they truly believe in it. And although I'm Jewish, you know, we're mutually respectful of one another. If America wants to be Muslim, then America will be Muslim. Who the fuck cares? One person's not going to do that. You can't deport Sneeko. You know, he got attacked in New York. So, you know, those types of things, you put it out there, you kind of flame the fuels of hate and so forth. There's going to be repercussions out there with people who are going to take that personally. Like I said, he got attacked. Didn't he like lose a tooth or something?
Yeah, chipped tooth. Yeah,
chipped tooth. That's a permanent injury right there, man. You got to get that fixed.
Yeah, I think
so. Yeah, man, I mean, but I sat down with him, and if you notice, it was very respectful. There was no yelling. There was no anything. We didn't agree with each other on everything, but there was also points that I made that he couldn't really debate, and there's points that he made that I respected and so forth. It's not an easy situation, but I could sit down with anybody.
You know which one of your sit downs I was thoroughly impressed by? I think it's one of your most critically acclaimed interviews potentially of the last 4 years.
Okay, which was that?
Sophie Rain.
Sophie Rain.
Yeah.
That was the most critically acclaimed.
No, I said it's one of them. It's one of them.
Okay.
I left saying, I'm like, did Vlad offer that bread to fuck? Like I had to. Is she like a virgin, or is she just capping? What's up with that?
I have no idea. I did an interview with her and I haven't seen her since.
But like she was like showing you stuff, which like she's in the OnlyFans world, which a lot of people like Adam's in that world. Like a lot of people look at that world as like smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Do I think she made $100 million? No, I don't. Because
she showed you this proof, right?
No, she didn't.
She did?
No. If you watch the interview, she said, "Oh, the internet doesn't work. I can't log in. Oh, but here's a screenshot."
She just showed you a screenshot.
Yeah. So I said, okay, I'll just leave it at that and let the internet do what it does.
Do you believe that though?
A screenshot? No, I
No,
don't
no.
believe a
Well, do
screenshot.
you believe just kind of like what you know about her and from the conversation? Do you believe that she's gotten $100 million from OnlyFans?
No, I don't. But I think she's made millions.
It's great marketing.
Not
Huh?
100 million, but to say, from what I understand, even our interview, I think like her manager said that their OnlyFans subscription jumped like something like 15% or something
Really?
like that because the interview went so viral.
Oh wow.
Because, listen, like, I'm a virgin. These porn stars are dirty. They do stuff I would never do, but you're doing dildo shows with Bad Baby. And I think most people didn't realize that because
We mean dildo shows. Like
live dildos, naked dildos.
they're fucking each other with dildos.
Dildos.
Stop it,
showers.
Vlad. How'd you know that?
I subscribed to
Oh,
her
Vlad, they got
OnlyFans
Vlad Goonin.
for
No.
research purposes only.
No.
For research purposes only.
So she has penetration going on.
Well, okay, so my whole thing was, okay, if I'm going to interview her, I want to see exactly what she puts out because I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to OnlyFans. I'm not an OnlyFans subscriber.
It's Brazzers and this goddamn baggy hub. Right? Come on, man.
I like
and there's
porn.
Twitter porn.
Yeah,
like, come on, man.
Porn. So I'm
Yo,
not.
Elon Musk is the greatest, purveyor of porn, if you ask me.
Exactly. So I don't follow OnlyFans girls. Like, I'm at the point that if I want to meet somebody, I could just DM them and they'll respond most of the time, right? So I'm not sitting there obsessed with some girl I'll never get. Like, I actually know these girls if I want to meet them. So when she was coming on the show, I'm like, let me see what the content really is. And I realized after logging in, it was like, oh shit, she actually has sexual content, masturbation videos.
Really?
Stuff like that. Yeah. So this whole like, I'm a virgin, I'm a good girl. I don't know if she is a virgin or not. I have no idea. But she does sexual content. It's not just, oh, look at my nipple. That's all you're getting. No, it's like actual masturbation, dildos, other lesbian content and so forth to compete and get viewers and get people to
So
subscribe.
it's great promo. That's dope.
So you say it's 100 million, everyone's talking. She's not broke by any means. I'm sure she does make millions. She does have like this Asian kind of look that a lot of guys, a lot of white dudes like.
We said Asian?
Asian, yeah, white and Asian. Because she's half Filipino, half white.
Oh.
So she,
Is that like a little like kink for like a lot of dudes?
well, listen, man, like as someone who grew up in the Bay Area, I
You
just
like
want
black
to thank.
chicks. You like black chicks.
Well, no.
I could tell.
I like black girls, right? But living in the Bay Area, I just want to thank all the Asian girls out there who date all the ugly white dudes and stop them from being school shooters.
Oh,
and
shit.
so forth, because you will see a relatively cute Asian girl with just a fucked up looking white dude out there.
Really?
That's the thing. Because, Asian women culturally will look past looks and look for stability.
They got low
and stuff
standards.
Like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, in terms of looks.
Okay.
Right. Because they have higher standards in terms of
Bank
money
account.
and bank accounts and houses and so forth, right? So she's like a white girl who looks a little bit Asian and so forth. And she's got a nice body. She's natural. She's got nice, breasts and, she got, nice ass. Not too huge. There's no BBL. There's no whatever. She did the Miami Swim Week where you see her in a thong and so forth.
Vlad, how
Pretty
much
girl.
would you pay to take the virginity, man?
I don't think she's a virgin. I think there's
She said she was offering 50 mil.
I think there's a rich dude that's quietly fucking her and keeping his mouth shut. That's what I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I
Who's
definitely
quietly fucking her.
Yeah, it's just like
Who's
I'm
not in the media, who's not like an athlete or a rapper. It's some hedge fund dude that's
Yeah.
quietly fucking her.
A rapper is definitely
who's
snitching.
paying her rent, who got her a car. So whatever OnlyFans money she has is just her spending money. She doesn't
Yeah.
have to worry about her regular bills. And he's quietly fucking her and he's happily doing it. He's probably in his 50s or 60s.
Gotta
and
be.
everybody's happy. He's not going to put her on blast because he's not, he might be married himself and he's not trying to put it on blast and so forth. No one's offering her $15 million for her virginity. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
What do you think about Brittany Renner? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I see a meltdown. Happening. Listen, I did her first interview ever.
Really?
You know that, right? Her first interview ever
I think
was
I
on
remember
Vlad TV. Ever. Period in life. That's when she was messing with Colin Kaepernick. And
Oh,
she
wow.
was like No comment. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, well, back then she was the shit, huh? Like one thing I've realized about her, and definitely not trying to like engage in like age shaming or whatever, but I looked at a video from her 12 years ago to now, and the attitude is so much different. She was like, "Yo, yeah, I've fucked like 10 athletes," and she was like bragging about it, and like now, she's had a kid with the PJ Washington guy, and like he has a new girl.
he has a wife.
Has a wife, yeah,
and
right?
new kids.
And I watch her kind of like, I don't know, the talking points is a little bit different. Like she was so bragging about the men that she could easily access, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm turning them down left and right." To now she's like, "I'm financially like reconstructing my life."
I mean, did you watch that video where she played the voicemail to PJ, like screaming at him in the voicemail? Because he had put up like some sort of like Instagram post that was sort of just kind of general, what she felt it was about him. She's like, "Take that fucking shit down, right?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my interview. Or the video where he's picking up his kid and she's screaming at him and chasing him out the car and everything else like that. Like, who wants a crazy baby mother? Who wants a crazy baby mother? Because most men, not most men, but a lot of men have experienced that shit.
Yeah.
A crazy baby mother. That's a horrible place to be in. A horrible place. Because your kids are weaponized. So when you look at this woman and you think, can I have a serious relationship with her? Right? Listen, lots of dudes will fuck Britney, right? Because she has a nice body. Right? She has a nice body. She's natural, whatever. You've seen what her body looks like and so forth. She talks about being sexual and so forth. So, okay, this looks like could be a good time, but who wants to have a kid with someone who's already doing that with her other baby father and is already doing that with her kid? Not a lot of working guys will take that because that's a fantasy for them. But a man with real money, you don't want to have a kid with her. And if you don't have a kid with somebody, where is the relationship going exactly? Right? Are you really in a serious relationship with someone and you got to deal with someone who's already has a kid with someone else, with a high profile person, and it's volatile? It's one of those things, man. Listen, there's someone for everyone. I think if Britney looked in different places for different types of men, I think she absolutely could find somebody. Like she moved back to Mississippi. I'm sure there's some dude who owns like, a car lot in Mississippi that will gladly settle down with her and feel like, this is my woman. I love her. But is she going to get a higher profile? Is she going to get another Kevin Gates? Is she going to get another PJ? Is she going to get something like that? I think a lot of dudes would be like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, and this is how I've always looked at her.
She thought, she said you were obsessed with her.
I know.
You've never had a bad bitch like her before.
Yeah, it was I was kind of disappointed. I was disappointed when she started attacking me for one reason. And this is why I said, this is why in this industry, I am very skeptical, and I'll say it publicly. I'm skeptical of helping any of you bitches. Okay? I look at Joe Budden and any girl he done put on his podcast or you done worked with, they got mad shit to say afterwards. There's no, "Oh, thank you for the opportunity. It didn't work out. I'm moving on." They now say, there's one girl saying Joe tried to fuck her. Another one says that Joe don't like women. It's usually a lot. Another one is suing him for, or did sue him, I don't know what happened, for like some harassment shit. It doesn't turn out well. The thing I didn't like with Britney was that if anything, I made it so perfectly clear that I interviewed her here, and when I thought it was great content because I have a lot of guys who watch me, and then she was also like kind of like intriguing to like that female audience who feels like she could be their voice. I said there could be some synergy here. I was so much of a professional with her. Mm-hmm. I brought her out to do another episode with the guys from Fresh and Fit. And I remember talking to her consistently, telling her, you're a star, because number one, half of these girls on social media, they're on baddies or whatever else you see them on the Shade Room. They don't talk like they know how to use a mic unless they're sucking dick. They talking period, poo, this, that, like they're so ghetto. It's not good for podcasting.
Yeah, she's not ghetto.
Yeah, so you need someone who could eloquently convey their thoughts, even if I disagreed with most of them. Didn't matter. You know why? There was going to be an audience of people, a lot of women, who would agree. So, when I was trying to think about building like a network, because I think that's, a couple years ago, everyone was thinking like, hey, let's build out a network and sign people. I remember I had a Spotify deal, and I had the ear of the head of content, and I try to convince him. I say, hey, listen, there's this girl. I use my agent, my entertainment lawyer, and said, hey, there's this girl. I think she would be great for what Spotify wants. And we were trying to figure out a way that if they did something with her, she would fold up under like the Academy network. And I literally sat on calls and meetings. And I remember in the meeting with the Spotify head of content, I'm in that call. I have a deal with them already. And I do a whole speech trying to get her to get a deal. To me, that's the epitome of not only professionalism, that's the epitome of trying to give someone a chance. And that's the epitome of I don't mix straight business with dick and pussy shit. So when she comes across, and she can say anything else about me, right? She can be like, nah, you're kind of an asshole. You. The only thing I don't like, because once it goes down that realm, it tries to paint you in the picture of you're one of those guys that leverages opportunity for sex. And that's what I am not. Mm-hmm. So I didn't like what she said. She said there, generally we weren't going to agree on whatever her lifestyle is. I was going to have my opinion on whatever. But once I seen that, it was kind of hard for me to kind of like have, like, just not be turned off all the way with her. Because I don't know if you've ever been in that position where once a woman starts to say, oh, yeah, he kind of, he wants me. This is why now, like, if you're a female and you want to do podcasting, stay the fuck away from me. There's no opportunity over here for you. Sorry. Listen, all the men pause, no Diddy shit, but all the men come over here. You women go link up, because you know what it is? If you're attractive and things don't go your way for whatever reason, Brittany didn't have I signed to Spotify without ever having a podcast. That was my first podcast the first day on Spotify. She didn't have a podcast either. It was a tough sell. They were like, oh, well, we're looking at her social profile. It's not like she's already into like stuff like that. At least you were. They ultimately didn't go with it. For me, like, you kind of like put a little bit mud on my face if like I'm supposed to walk in another woman into a building that has something to do with business. What they're going to look at? Oh, Ak must be fucking her. Yeah, Ak is fucking this chick. So for now, I'm like, you know what? Y'all bitches stay the fuck over there. I gain nothing from y'all. Stay there, and I will just do me. It's turned me all the way off.
Yeah, I talked to her about potentially doing a podcast, and the conversation was a little weird. It was actually after one of our interviews where she was like, well, I know I'm going to get exploited, and, if I'm going to get exploited, I'm going to need to get paid or something. I'm just like, no one's trying to exploit you. Like,
she thought like you're going to like fucking clickbait like her titties or something. What the fuck?
No, but like, I don't know, like exploit her by somehow robbing her. Because I was like, why don't you do a podcast? I was talking to her about possibly doing like some sort of podcast on the show or something like that, or being a regular guest or something. But it was like she was very just paranoid about everything. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. Let's just not do it. Not a problem. Like, if there's not an instant like, hey, let's try it, I'm not going to convince you, because I'm always talking to a bunch of different people who are trying to be on the platform, potentially could be good guests and so forth. If you don't want to do it, I'm not going to convince you. So Brittany, unfortunately, is not, just because you're popular doesn't mean you're a good business person. The fact that she had to move back to Mississippi, and I don't know if that's part of her shtick or whether she really needed to move back, but, crying on camera, her makeup's off, you get to see sort of like kind of the not so attractive side of Brittany, and like
her problem is she chasing niggas, man. I'm telling you, like, she doesn't want to hear that, but she's chasing men. I told her, I said she's a broken woman because she's chasing love, and she's chasing love in the places that are penalizing her for her public past. Her public past is that the reality is you were Colin Kaepernick's side chick. You wrote a book about fucking Lil Uzi, flying yourself out to men, being seen as a woman of the night. That still lingers. The girls who do OnlyFans, at some point they're going to want to settle down. If they want to do it with a particular type of guy, the girls who spend their 20s fucking athlete and rappers and celebrities and do OnlyFans, they usually settle down with some random guy that has no name.
That's what I'm saying. Remember I said that? She should find some dude who owns some sort of business, maybe like a termite business or something like that in Mississippi, who will worship her.
I think
who would feel really lucky that he has his dream girl living with him and occasionally sleeping with him.
But that's why I said she's broken.
Support her and so forth.
That's why I should say she's broken, because at that point, if you go from dealing with Kevin Gates, Uzi, Colin Kaepernick to like termite business guy,
you got to grow the fuck up at some point. Like I learned early on, I dated one video chick, like during the course of my.
Don't tell me it's Buffy the Body.
No, it was not. It was not. It was this girl from Toronto.
For real?
Yeah.
Wait, where'd you meet her? Toronto?
Nah, I met her in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, this was before Vlad TV. This was like mixtape.
Yeah.
DJ Vlad. And she knows who she is because we actually ran into each other not too long ago. And
back on the roster or what?
No.
Oh, washed? Yeah, that look is like, yeah, she's washed now.
I'm good. But I remember we met, we hit it off, and she kind of even moved in with me when I was living in Jersey. And then we went to Miami, and then I got to see her in full blown, like chasing after Iverson and chasing after this dude and chasing after that dude. And then like, I remember at the end of the night, she's like, oh, I'm going to go see my friend downstairs. I'll be right back. She don't come back.
Oh, yeah. She
and
was
I'm just like, yo, I'm done. I said, I texted her. I said, yo, when you come back to Jersey, your stuff will be packed and you're out. And I just learned at that point that I don't want that type of woman. I like beautiful women, but I don't like women who are trying to be famous.
Yeah.
This was someone who was trying to be famous. She's been in music videos and stuff like that. I'll tell you who it is after the interview.
She's trying to be on our Melissa Ford shit.
Yeah, but
in terms of like being popular.
Yeah. So from that point on, I just said, any girl I meet, we are not going public with this relationship. Like if you look at like my past marriage or just any girls I've been with, like I've always just, yeah, you may have seen me with them and so forth. There might be some pictures floating around, but I've never been like, this is my girl. Here's her Instagram. All you other bitches go ahead and message her and fuck my life up and, make up a bunch of stories about me and so forth. Like, nah, like whoever I'm with, in terms of the fame part, that's my job, right?
Yeah.
And in terms of the money part, that's my job as well. Like, I'm not trying to find women who are splitting the bill 50-50 with me. Like, I'm the financial provider, but I'm the star of the show. And
It's only once. What do you think about what Drake just said? Drake just gave a whole breakdown, which a lot of people are upset about this too. Drake was describing that he hates the word tricking.
Yeah.
He says he likes doing nice stuff for women.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't feel that should be weaponized.
Well, this is Drake talking. This is not me and you talking.
Yeah, Drake's buying
the
houses.
guy that works at UPS talking. When you're worth, because he's a billionaire at this point, right? Yeah. When you pay a girl's rent at $5,000 a month, that's like me giving a girl a penny.
No, he's paid.
If I reach in my pocket and say, here's a penny, they're like, oh my God, this penny will last me the whole month.
Yo, they said
that's what it's like.
They say it was paying a bitch's rent in Houston for $25,000 a month. Penthouse.
What is $25,000 to Drake? That is nothing to Drake. Tricking is when you spend so much money on a girl that you don't have money for yourself afterwards, and the girl is really there for the money. That is tricking to me.
Wait, break that down again. So basically, when you just
if you're paying a girl's rent and you're living with your mom, you're tricking.
Oh, okay.
If you're paying for a girl's car, that car is better than yours. You're tricking. I got a Ferrari.
You got a Ferrari?
Yeah.
I thought you had a Tesla, nigga.
I got that too.
Okay. Yo, when'd you get the Ferrari? Yo, we gotta get up in Vlad's garage, bro. What's going on?
No girl that that I'm seeing has a Ferrari, right?
As they shouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm seeing a girl, no girl that I'm seeing has a better place than me. If I pay your rent, it's not like my place. It's a nice place. It's in a safe area. It's roomy, you know, whatever.
Well, what do you say to the dudes who are like, well, you're paying, you just giving a woman anything of luxury, she's still going to entertain and possibly fuck the broke guy. And that's what makes you the trick.
Well, if she does that, it's over. She's off the team.
Oh, man.
She's getting replaced. There is no shortage.
Vlad on his fresh and fish shit, man.
Man, listen. I looked up my net worth.
Yeah.
It's like top 0.5% in the country, and when you go worldwide, it's like 0.1%.
Yeah.
Like I'm a 1%er. So it's not like I don't have options and choices. It's not like I walk down the street and a dozen people don't ask for pictures with me, and it's not like I don't have fans, like I don't have respect. It's not like I can go anywhere. I could DM anybody I want, and there's a reasonable chance they'll answer, famous or not, in terms of females. So it's one of those things where, you know, if it's someone I fuck with, I don't mind supporting that person. I don't mind getting him a place, getting him a car, you know, giving him, you know, money to
You've
spend.
never tricked on these little video vixens.
Nah.
Little cat stacks back. Well, that was cute for World Star.
Yeah, no, I never fuck with cat stacks.
Like, who are like the video vixens of like?
I mean, listen, man, I've had a lot of...
They've actually just phased out. Like,
well, I mean, listen, I fucked a lot of porn chicks like throughout my days.
You used to interview them.
I've interviewed them. You know what I mean? And I've slept with porn chicks over the years, right?
Okay, have you ever done the transactional shit where they're like, yo, Vlad, it's 3 bands for this box tonight. 3 bands.
Listen.
The price of the box went up.
Okay, look. You know what the big difference is between free pussy and paid pussy?
Oh, Vlad's about to hit me with some shit crazy. What?
What's the biggest difference? What's the biggest difference between free pussy and paid for pussy? The biggest difference.
Hold on.
The biggest difference between free pussy.
Hold on. Everybody pause the video. Pussy. I get in the comment section on this one. Free and
the biggest difference. The biggest difference.
Well, free pussy probably like when she's moaning like cause she fucks.
That's not the biggest difference.
What's the biggest difference?
Free pussy is more expensive.
Wait, what? What?
Consistently. My
nigga said
free pussy is consistently. I have never had free pussy that cost me less than paid pussy ever in my whole life. Not in all my 53 years. Free pussy is always more expensive.
How? Like, okay, break it down.
Well, number one, free pussy requires time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right?
Ooh, that's the most expensive part. Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're with a girl and it's not transactional, then you're spending time with them, you're getting to know them and stuff like that. You may be having sex in the beginning, but in order to maintain a sexual relationship, there has to be some sort of connection, there has to be some sort of time and so forth. And once you start spending time with somebody, and once you see that this person, you know, may not be financially as well off as you, and you want to engage in the same type of activities with that person, you're going to be spending money on that person. And when you start adding all that up, it's consistently going to be more money than a girl who you're just going to fuck for a night and you're just going to give her some money, and then that's that.
Yeah, but free pussy feels better than paid pussy. Come on now.
Not always.
Wait, what?
Not always. Well, because even with porn girls who I've gotten, you know, like you get into some sort of relationship with them over time. You start to develop a friendship and so forth. And a lot of times it doesn't even turn into, like, it may start off as transactional because that's what they do, right? But then over time, you start to develop a friendship and some sort of rapport and everything else like that. And, you know, the sex does get better, and the sex, you know, you have a connection with the person. And also certain, like girls who do porn are really, most times, very hypersexual. Whereas most girls who you just are going to meet just out and about, they have different levels of sexuality to them. You know, now there's girls who aren't into that world who are extremely sexual, but that's harder to come by than girls who, you know, they move to those fields because of how they already are. So Listen, man. I mean, I've taken trips to Brazil. Like I've done the passport bro.
Oh, the
thing and
passport
so
bro
forth.
shit?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know, so I've done all that over the years. I'm not going to deny it. It just is what it is. But yeah, I have never.
Free pussy's the most expensive.
Oh
Vlad
my God.
Vlad just dropped a jewel.
It's always been more expensive when you add it all up. Because you're
So
doing,
you're like, yo, just give me a price.
Because you're doing
just
a lot
give me
more.
a goddamn price, man. I'd rather that. Like,
Because you're doing a lot more for that person than you would, and then all the miscellaneous shit, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, well, you need a phone. Okay, because your phone's fucked up. All right, cool, I got you on the phone. Oh, okay, you need your hair done. Okay, cool, I got you. You know, oh, you know, you need help on your insurance this month. And then you start to add it all up, you realize you're spending quite a bit of money. But then again,
that kind of makes
you're also
sense.
forming a relationship with that person. And that's the thing. Like, if and at the financial level that I'm at, it's not really a big deal to help someone out. You know, what Drake is saying is that it makes him happy to do things for women and see the look on their face and changing their lives and so forth. But what he's not saying, what the asterisk is that it has zero impact on his bottom line and his wealth.
Yeah, facts.
Do you really think that Drake would do something for a woman and then have to give up something himself because of what he did for that woman?
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I know a few chicks who like they've been like just fawning over like what he's been doing. I'm like, literally, Drake won $30 million on stake like literally 2 months ago. He's spending his gambling winnings on like $30 million for us is like our whole net worth. That's like a weekend win for him. He's buying here. You get a house, you get a car. I pay your rent. You get these Birkins. And he's just like giving it out. But you're right. Like if Drake was down to his last 100,000, he's not buying a bitch shit.
Buying shit. I mean, listen, I remember a few weeks ago, because of what happened with my Amazon stock and my Google stock, like Amazon went through the roof, and then Google had really huge earnings as well. Like my portfolio was up $1 million over 2 days.
Yeah.
Like $1 million in 2 days. And you just think about that, and you think about how many people around me, and it's just like, it's almost free money, right? You know, when stocks, I mean, granted, I didn't sell anything, so really I didn't make that. But when you think about, like, let's just say I cashed it out right then and there, $1 million, think about how many people's lives, especially women's lives, can you change with a small fraction of that? Like, if you just chip off 100,000 and you say, okay, I'm going to help this girl out with 100,000. I'm going to get her an apartment. I'm going to get her a car. I'm going to pay for a phone. If she needs to go shopping, not like, just regular shopping, regular clothes, Nikes, Reeboks, go to,
Now these bitches want red bottoms.
yeah, so
I ain't gonna
some
cap
regular
this
shit.
man.
Birkins,
Birkins, like these bitches
some regular
crazy.
shit. You could really completely financially support this woman probably for 100,000. You could support someone for like 2 years, where they don't have to work, where they're just devoted to you because you're supporting their overall lifestyle. And it makes absolutely no difference because it's just 10% of a stock gain. For Drake, he could have 50 women that he's supporting that he never even sees, that are just there on call whenever he wants them, because, yeah, 25,000 is a lot of money for me and you. But to Drake, what is that? For a girl he really likes, that, and these girls, like, look, you could say, oh yeah, these girls are fucking a bunch of other dudes. Man, women think differently. Like women, most women don't want to fuck a bunch of dudes. They really just want to fuck one dude, even if they know that guy's got multiple women. Like most women want to just fuck with one dude, even if they're part of a harem. If they're aware of the whole situation, if the man is honest with them and said, listen, this is the situation. If you want to do this, these are the terms. If you don't want to do it, I get it. You don't have to do it. You can go back to your own personal lifestyle, right? And especially if you're not abusive with these women, like you're not making them fuck a bunch of dudes and, making them, having dudes run trains on them and do a bunch of weird, you're not drugging them out like Diddy was doing and occasionally beating them and shit like that. If you treat that woman nice, that woman will be very loyal to you. Like I've never really had women cheat on me like that. I mean, I had a couple girls here and there, when I was younger and broker and stuff like that. But really, I don't I've never had women that are just stepping out on me and cheating on me and I'm seeing them out or whatever else. That's just never really been me.
Well, women usually move a little.
Yeah.
Like if they're moving that sloppy, they're usually not dealing with.
Well, but you could
guys anyway.
tell, man. You could tell. And yeah, I've just never really experienced that. And when you start to reach certain financial levels, like it, everything changes. Like the rules don't apply to you anymore. Right? I remember going into a Gucci store and saying, I can't afford anything here. $1,500 shoes? The fuck? I'm going to Foot Locker and getting shit on clearance. I'm a struggling DJ. Now I can go into a Gucci store and I walk out because I just don't like anything, right? I just don't see anything I like. The price really doesn't matter anymore because designer shit, whatever, right? You know that. You buy the car that you want, not the car that you could afford. You buy a house that you want, not the house you could afford. And everyone who's not, when you're not on this multi-million-dollar level, everyone else is still struggling. $1,000 is a lot to certain people. $2,000 is a lot to certain people. I remember, I guess like YouTube changed its algorithm where now to get monetized for shorts, you have to have a lot more views and so forth. And I'm like, well, I hope this works out because shorts don't make any real money. And people in the comments were just butchering me like, yo, what do you mean, man? My cousin makes $200. That really helps out. You know, you're out of touch. I made $1,000 3 months ago. And that, you know, that paid a lot of bills. And it's like, for some people, $200 is a lot. $300 is a lot. People do Uber, man. Like, the people that show up to my house with Uber Eats are usually older than me. They're usually senior citizens.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being in that situation.
Hey, a guy showed up to my house. So he showed up to my house and he's dropping off DoorDash. Everybody know me in DoorDash. We got the connection. So he shows up and he's kind of walking up like, you know, driveway or whatever. And he says, oh, so he points at my block and he's like, oh, you've been having this out here now. You've been driving it. I'm looking at this mom. I'm like, nigga, how the fuck? So all of a sudden, I'm like, this might not even be the DoorDash dude. This might be like some rapper sent this like hitman. I don't know what's going on. Then the dude says to me, I was like, wait, how you know that? And he says, dude, I deliver to you all the time. He's like, you're actually like 80% of my paycheck.
Okay.
I promise you. He literally said that to me. And I was like, and it's the first time I saw him ever. I was like, because I usually do the leave at the door. But yeah,
right.
Yeah, but yeah, like, you know, and it's an older guy. He's just into cars. So he's like, when I come here, I always like to see what cars you have out in the center. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, you're right. No, life is tough.
Life is tough, man. And you know, it's easy to get disconnected with reality, right? It's easy to get disconnected and forget what it was like to really struggle and wondering if you're ever going to make it, wondering if you're ever going to even have a nice car, wondering if you'll ever be known, wondering if you'll ever be like these people that you look up to. And then you reach that level and you do kind of forget what it used to be like. But the amount of power that you wield once you get into certain monetary levels is really crazy. And once you know how to invest your money, and you can make $1 million in a day on paper just because your stocks popped. And my Google stock that I bought in 2011 is up like 3,000%.
Damn, that's good.
30 times. 30 times. And I kept buying it. That's the basis of my stock portfolio. And when Google has these jumps where they go up 10%, that's like 300% of my original investment. So, and I learned you could borrow against it. That was the big. The big thing that really blew everything out of my mind was like, yo, I could actually borrow up to half my portfolio and never pay it back. If my portfolio grows faster than the interest rate on this loan, which is about 5-6%, if I'm borrowing at 6%, my portfolio is making 20-30%, you never have to pay it back because your borrowing power keeps increasing and the loan you're being charged less on interest than the actual stock. So you never have to sell the stock.
Yeah.
And the stock is outpacing the loan. So you never have to pay back the loan.
Yeah.
Like I have over $2 million in loans right now. I never plan on paying it back. Ever.
Yeah. No.
$2 million in loans that I never have to pay back.
When you figure out ways that you can leverage those type of things,
It's
really
insane. It's insane. That's not even counting the equity in my house and stuff like that. That's a whole different credit line. It's really just fucking mind blowing because most people, most middle class and poor people, when they need money, they sell their assets to pay for other things. And now that asset is gone, right? But people with real money, they keep their assets, they borrow against them, and the assets keep increasing, and the loans are just there, accruing interest. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Bank is getting the interest. You don't have to pay back. Your stock portfolio is 10 times bigger. And before you know it, you're in the tens of millions, hundreds of millions. Like it's insane.
Hey, did you see? I saw you talking about this on your channel recently. Well, I seen you talk about it with Wack. That they now have added to the Big U indictment that Wack chased Future in the airport. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it wasn't a chasing. I think that they talked to him, and it was over a debt to Trick in Detroit, and it was an amount of money that wasn't even a large amount.
Well, this is where it gets hazy. The feds are claiming that's a overt act to a racketeering for extortion. So what they do mean is that whether that debt is legitimate or not, the means of trying to get money from Future, they believe that's part of the extortion.
Look, Big U is in a situation. I know Big U, by the way. Yeah. Big U is in a bad situation right now.
That used to be your friend, right?
Still is my friend. Just because he's in a situation, doesn't mean that I don't like the guy still. If he reached out to me, I would absolutely take his call. Me and Big U.
If he reached out to you for some money for some legal defense,
I might try to help him.
Oh, okay.
I might. I mean, depending on the amount. If it's something I could do that's not going to put any pressure on
a little $20K.
Whatever it is, I don't know. Like he'll reach out, but Big U has always been solid with me. He's never pressed me on anything. And
ever been extorted?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
And I could have been because I was new to LA, and like I remember when me and Wack were going at it. Like me and Wack had like a 10-year kind of beef or whatever you want to call it. And I remember Big U called me one day because Wack was mad at me because I had like put out something that he didn't like. But it was actually true. So I remember Big U called me and he was like, "Hey, so Wack," this is back when him and Wack were friends. "Oh yeah, Wack called me and said he mad about this." I said, "Yeah, it's true." He goes, "Yeah, I know it's true." But I told him I'd make the phone call, and that's that.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I ain't gonna take it down because okay, I don't blame you. And that was the end of that. But here's the thing, right? In a situation like this, it could have easily turned into extortion, right? The two of them could have gone, "Okay, look, let's work together on this on Vlad. Vlad got money. Big U would approach Wack, "Hey, Vlad, I'll take care of this Wack situation for you. Right? I'll make this go away. Right? You won't have to worry about Wack ever again. But if I need a favor, then and then next thing you know, now I'm posting all his artists and I'm doing this and I'm doing these interviews I don't want to do and blah 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 blah, or I'm paying him or whatever else. There's none of that ever on any level, So my point is right now, Big U is such a target for the feds, and there's like 50 charges, right? There's 50 charges, and I think every Crip in California that's trying to get out of some shit is saying that Big U put me up to it, and I will add to the case. I'll testify because I'm trying to get some time off my case. Right now, he's got a murder for hire for killing one of the witnesses. Is that true? Is that not true? I don't know, but at this point, it's like, I got 20 years and I know Big U. I could say, "Oh, let me help out your case." I'll say that Big U told me to go kill someone back in 2009, and I'll testify, and I'll do the pylon, which is what you guys want, right? You guys don't want me. You guys want Big U. Sure, come on, join the case. Yeah, we won't promise you anything, but we'll tell the judge that you helped out.
I felt nervous for Wack when I seen it. I was like, I felt like they were trying to lump him into the conspiracy.
No, I think Wack is fine. I don't think Wack, and really like Wack doesn't. I don't think he has any real animosity towards Big U.
No, well, they listed him in there as a co-conspirator.
Yeah,
And I think that was like, I don't think the feds are like,
is he charged with anything?
No,
Being
not yet.
listed as a co-conspirator, doesn't that imply a charge?
Well, it could imply that a charge is coming. They keep doing superseded indictments.
I don't really get the impression that Wack is a criminal these days. Like, I know he
Well,
has his
it wouldn't be
background,
these
but-
days. Like all these things supposedly happened like 8 years ago, bro.
Yeah, but Wack talks a lot of shit, but I have yet to see him really be involved in some real, criminal shit. In fact, it seems like he tries to talk people out of this shit most of the time.
Yeah,
And tries to steer people into more of a legitimate direction.
I think people are mad at him that he's smarter than the average LA gangster.
Wack is smart, man. I did 4th of July at his house. I went to his home.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we hung out, we talk. I got to meet his girl and know her, R&B, really cool girl, really cool lady. Me rocking with Wack has really been beneficial for everybody, for him as well. He's now a regular on my show. He's connected me with a lot of people. Me and Nick Cannon weren't talking for years.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he got me and Nick talking again. I mean, he's gotten Game on my show. He's gotten Blueface on my show. We've all done good business with each other, man. Everyone's gotten paid. Everyone walks away happy. No one, there's no discrepancies anywhere.
There's a growing, they get at me with this. There's a growing sector of YouTube that really believe Wack is a federal cooperant. Like they're huge.
You mean like
with
people that believe that I'm a cop or a
Oh
fed?
yeah, but,
I'm the original person with this title, right?
oh yeah. Oh,
Think
that's
about
true.
it. I've had it longer than Wack, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
He's taking the crown from me. It's fine. You can have that crown. But I was the original Fed. I was the original hip hop cop, right? And
Did anyone ever come back around and be like, I was wrong?
no,
Everyone just kind of backed off the claim and
that's
be like,
okay. I don't need an apology, man. I mean, look at my track record, right? Look at my track record. You think at this point it would have come out?
yeah.
It hasn't.
No, I agree.
It hasn't.
I agree. Did I miss anything? I feel like we've been here for a little bit, but did I miss anything?
I'll tell you the details about this later. But my mom is about to be on Vlad TV.
Your mother? Why?
80-year-old mother. A serious situation happened with my mom. And I feel that I should bring it to the forefront. So,
Is it something that is maybe?
it was just a serious situation. And
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. But something really bad happened to her, and I feel that this is the time to actually bring it on Vlad TV, introduce the world to my mom, and talk about this situation. I don't want to say what it is. I'll tell you off camera what it is, because I kind of don't want to take the surprise away from it, because no one's ever seen my mom or anything else like that. And but I'm gonna have her there. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna be on camera as well. We're gonna talk about it, and the world will get to meet my mom for the first time. My dad's passed away, so this is like the first Vlad relative that you can actually see on TV. But yeah, that's gonna be early September.
Oh wow!
You're gonna see that.
No, I'm excited to see what it is. I'm seeing if I missed anything. Like, I think we kind of got everything.
Yeah.
I think we did. Is there anything else? With all due respect, Eerie Spears, we just couldn't give you too much of a segment. I'm sorry. Oh, the Nicki Minaj thing.
What Nicki Minaj thing?
So you had made a tweet that Nicki Minaj's husband has moved to a shack in New York.
Yeah.
And people want, like, I'm not gonna lie. When I seen that, I was like, "Whoa!" Now, granted, you did have some basis because the website, the Megan's Law website, did list him moving to a different address. Right. What was behind that?
There's really nothing behind it. I had seen some rumors about this being true. So when I went to the registered sex offender website and actually looked up his name, it actually showed the address in Queens. It was like a little tiny little shack in Queens, and I put it out there just to put it out there.
Maybe they're downsizing.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, like they're using that house as a listing address because her house was swatted before.
Yeah, but it's also illegal. The judge said this before. Unless they're spending the majority of the time in that house, they don't care about the SWAT.
Exactly.
And I think that's her beef with Newsom, because she's like, okay, my address is out there. This is my husband, but it's making me unsafe.
Well, I mean, number one, keep in mind, Nikki lives in Hidden Hills, which is a gated city. So you can't just roll by her house. Right? You can SWAT the house. I get that. But you can't just show up and knock on her door or whatever else. But you're right. I mean, in order to list a residence for a registered sex offender, you have to actually be living there. Now, I don't really know the thing. I put it out there just to put it out there. It wasn't any sort of story behind it.
They probably thought Jay-Z told you to put it out there.
And I took it down because of some other reasons, because I was having some problems with some other part of my business. And I just didn't want to keep attracting this attention because the Barbs were losing their fucking minds. The Barbs were posting my personal phone number. They're posting my mom's home address.
Jeez.
They're posting pictures. They're trying to get away, they're trying to get around the Twitter ban by using a photo with my phone number and my mom's home address.
Wow.
And I was actually, I was reporting these posts, and a lot of these Barbs accounts got permanently taken down. But it was kind of over that. And I'm like, well, I am posting his actual home address, and that's not cool. So I just took it down.
Yeah.
And Tasha K was going crazy because she's friends with Nikki and so forth. And me and Tasha talked about this, right? Tasha really thinks that I really work for Jay-Z, and I'm like, no, I don't.
Wait, but did he have a baby on the side?
I don't know. That was a rumor. Could be wrong.
Okay.
You saw them together at some sort of soccer event or something like that.
Nikki's going real quiet. I'm actually impressed. I've never seen Nikki this quiet for this long.
Nikki's talked shit about me, so
Me too.
I don't have problems talking shit about Nikki. But, from what Tasha was saying, that Nikki thinks that I work for Jay or whatever else, so maybe me and Nikki will have a conversation and squash it. Or maybe we won't. I don't really know. But I don't have anything against
Just
Nikki.
tell her you're not Charlemagne. You know what I mean? We have 3 confirmed employees: Charlemagne, B-Dot, and Wayno's like an intern over there or something of the sort.
I don't work for anybody. But yeah, the Nikki thing was just something that kind of fell in my lap. And when I went to the site and I saw that the name actually matched up, I'm like,
yeah.
Yo, what is this? And you're right. You cannot be a registered sex offender living in Hidden Hills with your address being in fucking Queens. Unless you're spending
have they changed
the majority of your time. I don't know. I stopped checking. I got out of this business, man. I don't. The Barbs are annoying, right? I'm not scared of the Barbs or any other hive or whatever.
Trust me, I've battled with them for a good while in my day.
Yeah. You've gotten swatted by the Barbs?
Not swatted, but have they leaked? They leaked my number so much that I even publicly tell them now, I got the same number. I'm never changing it. I'm just permanently on D&D. It'll never change.
My phone was blown up. I had a million text messages and so forth. But whatever. If they actually want to swat my house, then you're going to deal with an actual criminal investigation at that point. Then people are going to start going to jail. But barring that, it's whatever. And I don't know the story, but I don't know if there's a side baby. I don't know what. But once again, if there's an address on the different side of the country, and you could say it's a front, but like I said, this is a registered sex. Remember, he got arrested when he moved to California without telling the sex registry that he's moving. And he had to fight those charges. So the fact that he has an address on a different part of the country, Nikki's not living there. It was a fucking 1,000 square foot house. What, the 3 of them are living in that shack? I don't think so. But, I think there's something there. But I think he's good at just keeping quiet. You've never heard him really talk. He knows his position. Yeah,
listen, I ain't gonna lie. My dream is having a bitch without social media. She got a nigga without social media.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing when your girl don't got Instagram. She has a nigga that even if he wanted to say something, he don't got a Twitter account, no Instagram, no nothing. Brilliant.
Well,
how did Nikki put?
Well, it's the same philosophy as me, right? I don't want famous women. She doesn't want a famous man.
No, I don't want no chick that could even swipe up. I don't want none of that.
Right. Look, she had Meek Mill. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. By the way, I like how he blamed you. Who were you?
Insane, right?
You were doctor something, or what was the name that he gave you?
I don't know. He basically said I was
The Wizard or something.
Yeah, he said I was the reason for 85% decline in its streams. I'm gonna be honest with you. Meek is like one of those people where like we accept him at the family cookout, but it's like when we all walk over to the side, we kind of all talk about him, and then we kind of like get some solace and be like, he's doing better these days. Like it's one of those. Like we've been stuck with Meek for a long time. Like,
Right. We know Meek is going to say something
Yo,
stupid.
if that's the dumbest shit he said, we'll take it.
I need investors. Y'all know anybody?
Yo.
Like on Twitter. Like, really? This is how you going to do it?
Yo. No, he's actually.
I want to invest in crypto. What should I do? Like,
Yo, like legit. But you know what? It's Meek Mill. It's one of those where like, for better or for worse, he's in the family.
Yeah.
Like he's in the family. As long as he's not like super crashing out, you let him get off that one thing. You'd be like, it's one of those you'd be like, okay, Meek, you got it. And then you just keep going with the conversation elsewhere. Cause that's one of the first times I've never like really responded and went back and forth with him. I was just like, okay, Meek. All right. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about over here. Yeah, no, it was utterly ridiculous.
yeah, man, shout out to Meek. I think he's a great rapper. He definitely has classic songs.
He dropped the remix to Dreams and Nightmare over again. I wasn't mad at it, but
I haven't heard it. Is it good?
it doesn't have the same energy, but it's the first time he's charted in 5 years.
Oh.
Which I didn't know. It's the first
Okay.
time he's charted solo in 5 years.
Okay.
So
Good for him.
the Dreams and Nightmare, it's called Nightmare to Dreams.
Yeah.
Uses the same beat. He raps a little bit different.
Oh, same beat?
Yeah, same beat.
Oh, well.
Same exact beat. So it's a remix, you know?
Yeah, I guess we run out of, I mean, that is his biggest song.
Yeah.
It always has been.
A part of Meek's career, this is why I kind of root for him, even though like I did
Hold on,
criticize
wait a
him.
minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Yeah, I felt bad criticizing him because I do know Meek is one of those people, he completely blames his lack of success or his career stalling out on what others did. He said the labels conspired against him. The bloggers were paid to go against him. None of it says my music stopped connecting. And, you know, it is what it is. I'm not here to, it's just too late in the game to even have that conversation with him. You know, God bless him if he thinks that.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of these artists, like the mistake they make also is that they don't build relationships with the media. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Meek does not have a media friend. Now, he had one with Taxstone. Remember he did a Taxstone interview
Yeah.
before Tax?
They were beefing before then.
Yeah, but he actually got over it
Yeah.
and did an interview in the the Rolls Royce and whatever else. I thought it was really dope. I have it on my channel. But it's like apart, and then Tax went away, and Meek has not gotten cool with anybody. He doesn't do interviews.
Meek's fundamental problem is that when he looks at this online stuff and when he looks at his career, he still says the streets. And if you don't realize that what is dictating the algorithm and yes, there is something called the streets, but if you think that the streets is just so powerful, you could say fuck everything else, not have friends in the media. Like, you know, I hear he's like just starting to become cool with like even streamers, because at first he was just looking like I'm a street nigga, blah, blah. You're gonna have a tough time. The greatest artists, actually just the people who've gotten the most money in entertainment, whether it was I forgot the guy that was with Muhammad Ali that had like a 1-2 punch.
Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
Howard Cosell.
It's always media and a entertainer go hand in hand, and the people who think they're either bigger than the program or they're like fuck the media, they usually enjoy their time in the sun, and as soon as the first sign of dust comes out, it's like it's over for you, because
Yeah, I mean, look, if you,
6ix9ine is one of those people who worked well with media. Like
he did. He did.
6ix9ine, love him, but he hasn't dropped a hit in a long time. Still thriving. How does he do it? He does it because he knows how to
Media relations.
work. Remember, at first it was just him and me, right? But that's when also the music was popping. He could say "fuck you" to the other media people. Now he's friends with every media person.
Yeah.
Him and Adam, him and you, like and
Ross,
that's great,
Yeah, Big
because
Bang. He's fucking a lot of different, and he fucks with streamers and so forth. Yeah, man, listen, like if you look at you realize over time when I went through my various beefs, whether it was Boosie or Aries or whatever else, like you saw the media, like all the people who I fuck with all step up and support me, right? Like the Poetic Flaccos, the Traplo Rosses, the Adams, the Shade Rooms, the Baller Alerts. Like
To the point, Boosie actually thought that like you sent them.
nah, man, but you build these relationships with these people, right? You let them use your content. You get to know them personally. You help them out. You know, like Adam has referred people to me that's made me money, and then I've turned around and referred those people to like, you know, Robin, a Baller Alert, and we all just rock with each other. So none of us wants to see us go down. You know, one of ours go down. We support each other. So when one of us is going to a war, like like everyone kind of steps in and puts everyone in a certain light because you have those relationships. When you don't have those relationships, it turns into a pylon.
Yeah.
It turns into a pylon, and you don't want that happening. You want to have those people who speak on your behalf. Like, you know, like, I don't really want to mention certain people, but you know, it's like you just see it. You just see the people, like for example, like, you know, just to mention just one for Aries, like Aries has always had a thing, and I found this out after our beef, is that when he does shows, one of his must-haves is that a black comic cannot perform before him.
What?
Yeah. So let's just say you go to a comedy club in fucking Cincinnati or something, or you know, wherever, Toronto, wherever else, Michigan, and the house has like some black comics that are always coming on before the headliners. He'll say no black comics.
Really?
Yeah. So when me and him got into it, and the black comedy community is a community that I've always really embraced. Like if you ever see me doing this or that's with comedians, it's like 50 comedians long, right? I've always supported black comedians. I've helped them, you know, elevate. I've been responsible for them getting more shows and everything else like that. It's always, I put money in people's pockets and so forth. So there was no one on the side when we started beef. The comedy community weren't taking Aries Spears' side. They were like, you don't fuck with us anyway, so
Damn.
you on your own. You got to have friends in this business, not only to publicly support you, but also to talk to them to kind of get a feel for where this could go. So you have to build these relationships. The Meek Mills of the world don't fuck with anyone in the media. They all feel the media is against them. I have nothing against Meek Mill. I would love to do a Meek Mill interview. He knows who I am. We've been in the same room. Oh, was that Vlad? Tell him what's up. Like, you know, I mean, there's no animosity between me and Meek, but he's never done a Vlad TV interview. And honestly, I think right now, Vlad and Meek Mill would go crazy. Sorry. Think about that. Millions of views, easy.
Well, the Tale of Two Tapes, right? Or the tape, is it Tale of Two Tapes? Whatever. Anyway, Meek and Drake. First time I ever talked to Drake was 2017. First time I ever talked to Meek, 2015. That's during their battle. I'm talking to Meek all the time. Well, not Meek himself, but like his team.
Yeah.
All the time. They're upset that Drake's my favorite rapper, but I'm talking to them. They don't utilize the fact that I'm talking to them to their advantage and I don't talk to Drake. In actuality, they hate me for it, right? Now, here's the difference of how both artists play it. First time I talked to Drake, 2017, it was about something with X. As time goes on and we build, and Drake also realizes how important I am, what happens? Ends up, he gives me a chain like, yo, bro, you're like, literally calls me like, yo, you're my right-hand guy because you've helped me so much in times that I needed help. Meek, on the other hand, who we were already in contact, took it as a way to threaten, took it as a way to isolate, and took it as a way to disrespect. And you see like how both people's careers, obviously there's talent in the mix, so we can't ignore that. Yeah. But you see how both people work with the media either or. I remember giving Cardi B the same advice. I told Cardi B, she was so upset at the Shade Room, and I told her, I said, listen, I know she was a little bit newer and younger at that time. I said, I know you're a little bit newer to this game, and I know Shade Room's not my platform. I don't really know them like that. Okay, I do like Angie, but I don't know them like that. I do want to give you some advice, though. Don't take this fight. I'd rather you keep the fight with Nicki. I'd rather you keep the fight with whoever that's the artist. Don't take the fight with Shade Room. If you feel like they're against you, they're not giving you a fair shake, ignore them. Maybe things will come around, but don't take the fight where you're going to put your brand against a media brand. The media brand works 24 hours a day. You probably post 2 to 3 times. You take off cycles. You don't want to go against a potential propaganda machine that you could now incentivize to change the perception about you or platform the people that don't like you that they know are going to kick your back in. Don't do it. And actually, I think she fell back. I'm not going to say because of what I said. She eventually kind of like, toned it down, which I think is good. You can't go against the media. You got to have a good relationship. And I think over time, she found the media members who she did like, and she started gravitating towards them. You don't got to all like me, but if you don't love nobody in the media, that's a problem. Right? If you don't like me, but you like Vlad, cool. It works.
Yeah.
You don't like Vlad, you don't like me, but you like Tasha K. Cool. It works. Yeah. You don't like all three of us, but who knows? You like, I don't know.
Call me daddy.
Whoever. You just got to have someone who could let people see you as a human, not as like a rapper. Because, it's a Young Jeezy effect. A lot of people said about Young Jeezy, they thought he was an asshole. And it didn't matter until he wasn't hot anymore. And when he wasn't hot anymore, all the media members like, we don't got to put up this guy anymore. We're good. Oh, he wants what? We're passing. You're not hot anymore. When you're hot, you come in, you shit on all the media guys. You tell them that like, hey, we'll give you an interview. You jerk them around. You lie to them, whatever. But when you need them, they're going to remember about every single thing you did. And that's a fact. Yeah. Do we miss anything? I'm trying to figure out anything else to boy Jake Paul, he's trying to do some shit. Anything else did I miss?
No, man,
or anything else to announce?
Am I the most?
Yes.
Am I the most like repeat guest on?
Yes,
Akademiks?
You are. No,
I've been on more often than anyone else.
Off the record, you are the absolute most repeat guest.
Good. Like
pretty much about once every quarter or so. Yeah. And
you do the same on my platform.
Yeah, we've done it, and shit. The next time, I'll be doing your platform.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I was coming to New York, and I'm like, okay, Akademiks did mine, so I just hit you up and say, yo, I'm in town for a week. You want to come through? Anytime, let me know. I'm there. And I really like rocking like that, man. Like, Corey Holcomb came on my show recently. I did his show, and I'm really like, I'll do your shit first. Like, I really because me and Corey, when we finally, we had a little beef, whatever. And I'm like, I'll come do your show first, and at some later point, come do my show.
Unknowingly,
I did his show, and he came do my show afterwards.
Unknowingly, you don't realize you're reversing some of the effects of what you did to fuck up the game, which is because now you're more on camera, you're more visible, you're more vocal. People want Vlad on their platform. They don't just look at you as a platform.
Well, but they've always. I mean, listen, I've never had problems getting interviews on other platforms. I've always been
but I think some people would be thinking that in terms of a swap, right?
I mean, but even look at Breakfast Club. If you look at my Breakfast Club numbers, it's bigger than a lot of like mainstream celebrities.
Yeah.
Right. So I've always been a draw on other people's platforms. This is why if I do your platform and I do big numbers and like the Nori situation, then it's time, when I ask you. Now you could say no, I don't want to do it, and that's cool. Right, like me and Shaq. I don't know if you heard about how me and Shaq kind of got into it.
Oh, Shaq, I watched Shaq beefing with me too.
Really?
Shaq beefing with everybody over bitches, man. Yeah. It's always over women things.
Yeah.
Shaq started beefing with me because we posted him trying to fuck the cute Home Depot girl. And Shaq hit me up, and I read his message in a Shaq voice. He was like, "What's wrong with you, little bro? You broke or something?" Like, he was like so upset.
Yeah.
And then he DM'd my next like 3 exes. Like he's on one. I'm trying to squash the beef with him because it's one of those things where like he's a billionaire, isn't he? Like, why am I?
Probably.
Yo, I don't care about his dick size, nothing like that. Shaq is like 80. How are we beefing?
According to Charleston, like some girl, I guess he fucked with some of the same girls as Shaq, and they said he got shrimp dick. So now I call him Shrimp Dick Shaq. But
why are you beefing with you?
Here's the thing with me and Shaq, right? And
they say he's a gangster, right? They say he tried to get some niggas killed back in the day.
Okay, well, if that's the direction he wants to go, if he wants to risk his freedom by getting at me that way, then we could do that. I'm not scared.
Nah, I'm not inviting no billionaire to do that. I'm good.
I'm not scared of Shaq or anyone else. Nah, fuck.
You almost caught a case back in the day where they claimed that he put like that's the shit that Wack was talking about.
Yeah, I've heard some stories, and I've always So here's my story with me and Shaq. Right, I met Shaq in like 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Like he I was one of the hot mixtape DJs, and he wanted to get some of his freestyles on my mixtape, and there was a freestyle where he dissed Kobe, right? So I put it on my mixtape.
The one where you say, "Yo, Kobe, how my dick tastes?"
No, I think he said something like, you're trying to be like, you remind me of Kobe trying to get as high as me, but even if you get me traded, you can never something. I mean, it was like a whole thing. It was
That's some bars. Holy.
Yeah, he had some bars back in the day. So the shit made on ESPN. It was a whole thing, and I think he was beefing with like Mad Skills at the time also, and some other shit. And it was like, oh, yo, thanks, bro. You just helped me win my first rap battle. So we just maintained a relationship since then, right? And I've never asked him for anything, but once I launched Vlad TV, I was like, yo, come do an interview. Yo, I got you. But he would never give me a date. Then I'd see him do other platforms. So, hey, I see you're on a media run. You want to do something? Yeah, cool. I got you. No, we're going to do it. Literally the whole, like, if you look at the 18 years that Vlad TV has been around, I've asked him every few years, and he's never said no, but he's never, ever, like, agreed to a time.
Oh, he treating you like Kendrick treating the game.
But every so often, he would send me a freestyle he did. Oh, yo, man, can you post this for me?
Oh, I know rappers like that.
And I would post it. And it's like, all right, cool. And I remember he reached out because like, the whole shrimp dick thing that like, he's like, yo, yeah, I see that shit with Charleston. And I'm like, well, do you have a problem with it? Do you want me to change the title? No, I'm cool. Ants is nothing to a giant or something, whatever. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. But, I fuck with you. I'll fuck with you too. I remember the mixtape. I respect you, whatever. So I saw him do an interview on some bullshit podcast of some white girls I've never heard of. And he's talking about investing. And now Vlad Stocks had just launched. So I'm like, yo, I seen you talking about the investing shit. This might be the time for us to do the interview. Let's focus on that. No response.
Yeah, he don't fuck with you, Vlad.
So I finally said, all right, Shaq, listen, I get it. You don't fuck with me. All right, it's been 18 years now.
You've been spinning for 18 years?
For 18, well, I mean, not every day, but like, every other year I'd hit him and whatever else. And I'm like, listen, like I've asked you now, it's been 18 years. I've seen you do a lot of other podcasts. You've never done mine. I get it. You don't fuck with me, but whenever you've asked for anything, I've always done it for you. And his response was, yo, why are you being so sensitive? Whatever. And when you're ready to apologize to me, I'll think about accepting your apology. And I'm like, man, fuck you. Straight up, fuck you.
You gotta watch out for Shaq, man. Shaq got some goons, man.
Man, fuck him. Like, honestly. And it's like, you could have really been like, something, bro, you're right. You've always been solid with me. And I've told you, and I have been stringing you along. I have been saying yes to you every time, but not without ever actually agreeing to it or giving you a time or giving you a date. I mean, you're right, man. You've been a cool dude. You posted my shit, whatever else. Yeah, man. Let's actually do something. But instead, he's like starting to like call me sensitive and insult me. And it's like, all right, we could keep doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I seen what you did. I remember like, look at this, like these text messages is like him like talking shit. Pull your skirt up. You tuck your nuts. You sound like a little bitch. Fuck you in your interview. And I'm going to tell you to your face when I see you. Go get some Vagisil.
Yo.
These are Shaq fucking texts. Yo, right here.
When Shaq was DMing me talking crazy, Shaq was talking like he was King Von. Like to the point I was like, yo, I literally had to tell him like, yo, I literally said, I said a corny Lil Wayne line to him. I'm like, yo, chill, Shaq. Real G's moving silence like Lil
Shaq, you're not gonna do shit.
No, he was talking crazy.
You are not doing shit, Shaq.
Like, yo, he was like, yo, I get niggas like you wiped off. I'm like, what?
You are a fucking billionaire. You are not risking your fucking
I heard Shaq
freedom.
got a couple niggas clapped though.
Really?
For real?
Okay.
I'm not even,
Listen,
and
Shaq,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
If you want to go there, if you want to take a penitentiary chance over me talking shit,
he's done that before.
Over some shit that honestly you could have fixed. Because the thing is, I think people like Shaq feel like
you on some mob bullshit.
Well, talking to them is just enough. Just being around me is enough of a gift. I don't have to do shit for you, but I can ask you for favors all the time, but I can string you along just because I'm Shaq. Now, fuck that. Like, if we're not mutually respectful, mutually beneficial, there's no point in this relationship. And I really thought that by just putting my foot down in the situation that he would say, because I wasn't insulting when I said, bro, I just seem like you don't fuck with me. And it's been a while now, and I see, and it's like, oh, you being sensitive, you need to apologize to me. Like that is not the answer that I was looking to get. So now it's like, fuck him. Straight up and down. Shrimp Dick Shaq. Got a little ring to it, doesn't it?
I'm trying to tell you, there's 4 athletes they say is on the Mount Rushmore of gangsters.
Okay.
That mean they either got niggas killed or they try to get niggas killed.
Okay.
Aaron Hernandez, he's a starting QB, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Then you got James Harden. They say he just tried to kill Moses Malone son.
We put him in deposition.
Then we got Shaquille O'Neal. They said he had like the Crips like sliding on niggas crazy in LA. Right. And then the last one, nobody would even realize this one. Marvin Harrison of the Colts. Trust. Google it. I know it sounds crazy. All right. These athletes, I'm telling you, these athletes really gangsters out here. Some of these niggas, you going to have to shoot in their kneecap. Like, these niggas is wildin'.
If he wants to throw his life away over some shit talking, then go right ahead. Go right ahead. You know what I'm saying?
If you see Shaq, call the police, and he might answer because he's a police too, right?
He's a cop.
Yo, he's a cop out there in Florida. Right. Yo, he's a police gangster. This shit's crazy.
I'm gonna say that shit to your face. Motherfucker, you 7'5". Right? You're a professional 7'5" athlete. I'm a 53-year-old non-athletic man. Like, you know what I mean? Like what you think that's tough? To me, saying that you'll say it, of course you'll say it to my face. You think I'm going to fight you? I'm not going to fight you.
You need a pig poker like how Charleston White got it.
You know?
I'm telling you.
I do carry weapons on me, though.
Good.
And I have weapons in my house.
Well, I don't know if you carry in California? Because you ain't going to find that big goofy-ass nigga nowhere but California. Y'all carry guns out here, right?
Guess we'll see. I mean,
like Jersey, I'm legal out here.
Carry permits are legal in California now. You just gotta go about it the right way.
Okay,
just gotta go about it the right way, right? But they're actually legal in California, and I have guns in my house, and I will protect myself. You know, I mean, I've been in situations with home.
Yo, if you see a nigga that's 7'2" with a ski mask on, just assume it's Shaq. Looking like Sasquatch.
Anyone come in my house trying to do me or my kids harm, I will kill that person. Straight up and down. And
all right, Shaq, stop playing gangster, man.
And I will call the police, and I will call it in, and I will press charges. You know what I mean? If Shaq got something to do with it, then he wants to tie himself into an attempted murder.
When he starts texting me like that, I screenshot all of them.
Yeah.
In case, you never know, man.
Yeah, I screenshotted these too. And I've posted them in my
I ain't gonna lie to you. You know I knew you was serious? Because so there's 2 dudes that call him from the West Coast, and then Gilly calls him and be like, what'd you do to Shaq? Gilly. And I'm like, oh, so Shaq's making him calls?
What's Gilly gonna do?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Shaq looked like he dispatched the goons.
Gilly?
Yeah, but I think Gilly was just like, yo.
What's Gilly gonna do? Gilly?
Gilly a street nigga. I don't know.
What's Gilly gonna do on Shaq's behalf?
Man, I'm telling
you.
Shaq made a couple calls. I'm like,
Let me tell you something, Shaq. I know you're gonna watch this. At your wage. You're a fucking billionaire. At your wage. You're too rich to be having these types of interactions. Okay? And treat people respectfully. Okay? It's not that hard. It's not that hard to be truthful with people and to treat people respectfully. If you don't want to do an interview, just say, hey, bro, I just don't really want to do interviews on Vlad TV. That's not my thing. And that's fine. We can go back to our relationship. Lots of people have told me no. I get 100 no's a day. That's fine. Like, I deal with no's. But the whole stringing me along and saying yes and I got you, whatever else, when you really don't got me.
Wasting your time.
That's when I have a problem with it. And I always reach a point with people when I get to this point. And what I've noticed that about half the time, the people will actually say, you know something, you're right. My bad. You're right. I have been stringing you along. You're right. I have been saying it. Let's fix it. The other half, they say, man, fuck you. You're being sensitive. And those people, I feel like nothing was going to happen with them people anyways. They were not going to fuck with me anyways. So fuck it. I'm throwing the relationship away. The relationship had no advantage to me anyways.
Yo, the crazy thing about Shaq, with him talking crazy, is like, that's a dude who's like, his brand is so friendly. They put him on cereal boxes.
Yes.
Like they say he's kid friendly.
Yes.
I'm like, yo, Shaq is talking gangster. Shaq is talking about getting niggas killed.
Shaq, your dumb ass going to end up in jail doing this type of shit. Seriously.
Yeah, Shaq, listen,
seriously.
Man. If you
want to get caught up, you're going to send someone and they're going to snitch on you.
Shaq,
okay?
Shaq, it's okay. There's enough 23-year-olds out here for you to fuck and me to fuck.
That's
like,
right,
chill,
man.
Bro. Like,
listen,
yo, I'm not even one of the niggas saying you too old to fuck him. Do you, Shaq?
If Diddy and his 2 inches could do it, so can you.
Oh, shit.
You can do it.
I say that, Shaq. I say that one. I said that. Only person I heard talk about your meat was Corinne Steffens, and I forgot what she said.
Corinne Steffens said that shit.
I don't
That's
know.
my homegirl. Shout out to Corinne, man.
Yeah,
We had lunch a few months ago.
Shit, Shaq right now is like, yo, when I see this nigga Vlad, it's on.
What's he gonna do? Are you gonna hit me?
I think he live out there in Calabasas. You better beware.
I've not seen Shaq.
You see Shaq at the red light. If I'm you, I run that shit. Like, yo, Shaq's on bad timing.
What is he gonna do?
Shaq?
What is Shaq gonna do?
Well, Shaq talk like he's a gangster. So
what have you seen him do?
I don't know.
Off the court, nothing.
It might be covered up. When a dude's worth $1 billion and he talking like that, he's not talking like that for no reason. Either that or he has a crash dummy that will do the time.
Okay.
Shaq.
You know, everyone thinks their crash dummy will do the time, keep their mouth shut until that crash dummy's facing life in prison.
Yo, you know how many times I've thought, I'm like, yo, how am I beefing with the guy that we call Superman and Big Diesel? Like, we all like Shaq. Like, how are we? Yo, Shaq.
I love Shaq, man. Like, Shaq really just hurt my feelings with the way he responded to me, bro. Like when you have someone that's really been 100% solid with you for that long, since 2004, you're talking about 22 years. Like, I've never said a negative thing about him. I've always, whenever he's asked for anything, I've always said yes. When you have solid people around you, you should just treat them with a basic level of respect.
Yeah.
If they feel slighted by you and they're telling you why they feel slighted, and it's an actual real reason, why not just get off your fucking ego and say, this dude has a point. And although he is not as rich as me or as whatever, this motherfucker does have a voice, and it's a big voice, you know? I wouldn't want to be called Shrimp Dick, you know, to millions of people, you know, but here we are calling him Shrimp Dick, you know, on multiple platforms, you know.
Shaq, man,
if sue me, you know, show your dick, you know, in the fucking, you know, you got to show your dick in the fucking courtroom to prove that I'm wrong and for defamation. I don't fucking know, you know.
Well, Shaq, man, if you're trying to resolve your issues with Vlad, he's very diplomatic. I'm pretty sure
I am. He's got my number.
Okay.
He responds to my texts. Even still.
Oh, probably a lot of threats, but all right.
Yeah, I ain't tripping, man. I'm not tripping off Shaq, bro. I've dealt with serious situations. You know, I've dealt with attempts on my life. You know, I've been jumped. Like, you know, I mean, I've dealt with enough violent shit and so forth in this business that when I got into it, I really was like, I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not worried about anybody. Not to say I'm the toughest guy in the world. I do have to bring security to certain situations. I will protect myself. But I'm not going to get intimidated by people. I'm not going to be bullied by people. I'm not going to be disrespected by people.
Yeah, no, completely understand.
Bro, like Shaq, you know that I've just been nothing but nice and kind to you for all these years. And I just think that being Shaq, you sometimes don't look at people as equals. You look at them as throwaways. Oh, yeah, of course you're going to post my shit. Of course you post my whack-ass freestyle because I'm Shaq and he's just Vlad. But at the end of the day, man, everyone has feelings. Everyone has.
I like how you stand on business, man.
Yeah, man.
Everyone stand on business, man.
And at the end of the day, yeah, I don't have Shaq money.
Yo, Shaq, man, you trying to take fuck around and find out, man. Fuck around and find. Nah, Shaq. Listen, we're gonna get the piece, man. Vlad, listen, I appreciate you. Another interview in the books. Next time you guys will see us, you'll see me on Vlad TV.
Yeah,
dropping another 75 points. Appreciate you nonetheless. I know any parting words. I feel like, you know, we do this all the time. So
yeah, man. Vlad Stocks. I want everyone who is serious about stock investing to join the Vlad Stocks tier on the Vlad TV YouTube channel. I actually show my real stock portfolio, and when I buy and sell stocks, I make videos announcing it. I have breakdowns. I show what dollar cost averaging is. I talk about some of my big gains as well as my big losses and so forth. And like, I really show my approach. Like, every week I'm dropping multiple videos on Vlad Stocks. And it just shows my approach about investing. And I really feel that in 2026, if you are not investing your money, you are just making the worst mistake of your life, right? And I don't just mean in stocks or the stocks that I buy. I mean real estate, you know, companies. If you have some sort of an idea about crypto, obviously that's a little more risky and so forth. But I bring in people who do options. You know, I bring in people who do swing trades. You know, there's going to be people coming in that do crypto and people at high levels. You know, Peter Schiff, Chris Camillo. These are dudes that are worth 80 million, 100 million, 200 million. You know, Grant Cardone, who's worth billions and so forth. These are people that really understand it, man. And honestly, like, there's 3 big business decisions that changed my life. 3. that completely changed the course of my life. The 3 most important business decisions. Number 1 was launching Vlad TV, because that provided the income for everything else that happened. Number 2 was investing in stocks, because I was taking all the profits that I could from Vlad TV, and instead of buying Rolls Royces and flying private, I was putting it into stocks like Google and Amazon and stuff like that, and I never took it out. And number 3 was getting a prenup.
Real nigga, man.
Getting
Real
a
nigga,
prenup.
man.
Because
Real
that
nigga,
protected,
man.
because, you know, after my last divorce, that protected my money.
Yeah.
That allowed me to keep the money I had, because if I didn't have that, Vlad TV would probably get split up. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I'd probably quit.
Wait, how many times you got divorced?
Twice.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you done with marriages,
I'm
right?
done. I'm never getting married again. I'm never getting married again. I'm never going to live with anyone again. You know, we could have kids. We could do this, but
Now, Vlad told me the dopest shit. He'd be like, "Yo, listen, man, I live in a mansion. She could live like down the street in a 2-bedroom apartment." I'm like, real nigga, man. Yo, you learned a lot, man.
yeah. You should see my spot now, man. Semi Cali. Now I got the art.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I finally, since it's my place, I finally get to decorate. I got the huge 300-gallon aquarium, and the Vlad TV logos on it.
God damn.
Yeah, my man Retina, he made an original Retina painting, you know, with my kids' names.
I'm coming through. I'll tell you what month, because actually I'm doing CompassCon, so I'm coming through.
That's in LA, right?
Yeah.
We should link up around CompassCon.
All right, bet. We should do that. Shit. Well, we'll probably do an interview before then, but yeah. All right, man. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Off the Record Podcast. It's been your boy DJ Akademiks. Of course, I'm here with the godfather of independent media, my man DJ Vlad.
Yeah.
Don't gotta say go check him out. You guys already do. But thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you'll see me on his channel.
Peace.
Peace.